into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning.
Is
this the happy dance?
Yep, swish the dress. If you've got a dress that can swish.
And if you're enjoying your public holiday, we are extra excited for you.
Extra excited. Yes, we are full of eggs and we love it. But today is probably the most important day of the year, in my mind, Family Day. And this is a Family Day show. Congratulations to all of the families out there. We love you. We're sharing in just nothing but unadulterated love today. That's what it's about.
Thank you, G-Man. And you know what, when it comes to celebrating Family Day, it celebrates families and emphasizes the importance of family bonds, as well as the quality time spent as a family unit.
I'm there for that. Now, let's take you back in time a little bit. Originally, the day was used as a recovery from the Easter festivities, and I suppose it is still used for that in some parts. And now it's become a part of the Easter long weekend and gives families the opportunity to spend that a little bit of additional time together, and we love that.
And this is quite amazing, and I'm not sure if you knew this, but Family Day was first celebrated as Easter Monday in 1910, but then was renamed as Family Day in 1994 in order to include all religions, as the holiday was originally more for Christians.
Yeah, man, this is so South African. I love it. So join us as we spread the word and the importance of family today. And speaking of which, mi familia is standing by, and I would imagine really happy after the weekend sporting action. You are allowed to rub it in, my friend. Look at that smile from ear to ear.
And the Reds go marching on. Yes, we made it to the final, but more so we get to celebrate with you, Mzansi. Thank you, family. And I mean that. You guys watching us right now, you really truly feel like family. We share so many incredible memories with you, and that's because we love to. And today is no different. So obviously, with the theme of family being around, we're asking you the social media question because we love chatting to you, Mzansi. We want to know if you've carried any of your childhood traditions into your own family today. Now, I'm not blessed enough to have my own family yet, but let us pray that one day it does happen. But I would love to take a lot of the traditions that I already had as a child, especially over this weekend. Obviously, Easter's a big one, but more importantly, that togetherness, that Ubuntu spirit, and also sharing. A lot of us have a lot of food left over for this weekend, and it's a great idea to use that to spread some love and share with those that are in need, especially after this weekend. So, my family, from me to you, let us have a beautiful day, of course, and let us continue with the magic of the show. Right now, Zoe is standing by with the news.
Thank you, Raul. Starting off with national news, President Cyril Ramaphosa has postponed an official visit to Saudi Arabia to focus on government's intervention in the devastating floods in KwaZulu-Natal. Together with various cabinet ministers, he visited some of the province's most affected areas on Wednesday. Since then, the death toll has risen to 443. Rescue teams are using dogs to search for many missing people. Ramaphosa was due to travel tomorrow, but with the postponement will allow him and his cabinet to assess the damage caused by the floods and address the crisis. And power utility Eskom implemented stage 2 load shedding yesterday at 4 p.m. due to the loss of generating units. It will continue until 5 a.m. on Wednesday. The loss of 4 additional generating units at Matla, Tutuka, Duva and Arno power stations over the past 24 hours, exacerbated by the delay in units returning to service, has necessitated the implementation of load shedding. Several units have been returned to service since Friday, the power utility noted. Despite this, the power system remains unpredictable, Eskom said. We now move to news beyond our own borders. Some countries have offered to help Tunisia prevent damage to the environment after a merchant ship carrying up to 1,000 tons of oil sank off the coast of Gabes, the Tunisian Defense Ministry said yesterday. The ship heading from Equatorial Guinea to Malta sank on Friday. The Tunisian Navy rescued all 7 crew members. The vessel was carrying between 750 and 1,000 tons of fuel. It sent a distress call when it was 7 miles from Gabes, to which the Tunisian Navy responded. Bad weather has been blamed for the ship sinking. And staying with news abroad, North Korea says it has successfully tested a new weapon, which it says will significantly enhance its tactical nuclear capabilities. Pictures show the country's leader, Kim Jong-un, smiling and clapping as he watches the new missile's launch. Experts believe this is a sign that North Korea is planning to test a compact nuclear weapon soon. In other words, a tactical nuclear weapon. North Korea stopped nuclear testing in 2017. The US said it was monitoring the situation. And bringing it back closer to home, charity groups are rallying to assist victims of the recent KwaZulu-Natal floods. To date, 14 tons of food parcels, water and other necessities have been distributed in flood-affected areas by the civil society group We Are South Africans, with another 20 tons to be distributed soon. The group has partnered with several other civic and faith-based organizations to distribute public donations. We Are South Africans said in a statement on Saturday, and I quote, "We have joined forces with organizations from far and wide. There are drop-off points in KZN and Gauteng, and these are available at www.peopleofsouthafrica.com/drop-off. Now, we urge the public to please donate clothes, non-perishable foods, mattresses, blankets, clothes, buckets, baby food, pet food, some nappies, sanitary pads and other toiletries, if possible, before this Thursday at 5 p.m. Now, relief efforts have also received a 30 million rand injection from the Motsepe Foundation, a charity set up by South African billionaire Patrice Motsepe. Moreover, Gift of the Givers founder, Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, has confirmed donations from a broad spectrum of social media platforms, corporates, as well as individuals. Suleiman said they received calls for support from embassies and international organizations. And our thoughts and prayers are certainly with all of those affected with the floods. Well, that's where I leave your morning headlines for now. Here's a first look at your sport with Graham.
Sit in the afterglow of a massive sporting weekend. Let's start with the cup action first. Liverpool and Chelsea have set up yet another final showdown at Wembley. That was after overcoming Manchester City and Crystal Palace, respectively, to reach the finals of the FA Cup. So the Reds were the first to book their ticket after a very memorable 3-2 win over City. Ibrahima Conte put Liverpool ahead before Sadio Mane doubled their lead thanks to a blunder from City's keeper, Zach Steffen. Mane struck again before half-time. And while Jack Grealish and Bernardo Silva did net after the interval, City were unable to complete a comeback. Then Chelsea, they ensured that there will be a replay of the League Cup final earlier this season after they overcame Crystal Palace 2-0. After a goalless first half, it was Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Mason Mount who scored within just 10 minutes of each other to seal the win for the Blues. Then on to cricket. We could see the form beginning to bubble under Annie's headed straps. David Miller single-handedly gave the Gujarat Titans a 3-wicket victory over the Chennai Super Kings in a pretty tense Indian Premier League clash over the weekend. The South African master blaster smashing 94 not out from just 51 balls as the Titans chased down 170 for victory with one delivery remaining. So Miller walked out to the crease with the Titans in pretty deep trouble on 16 for 3, with the left-hander going on to hit 8 fours and 6 sixes to power his side to their 5th win from 6 games now. And earlier in the day, the Sunrisers Hyderabad, they beat the Punjab Kings by 7 wickets. Aidan Markram top scoring with 41 not out as the Sunrisers chased down 152 for that win. Umran Malik had taken 4 for 28 with the ball as Punjab were dismissed for 151. Great to see the South Africans shining. Then let's return to clay for tennis. Stefanos Tsitsipas has successfully defended his Monte Carlo Masters title with a pretty hard-fought 6-3 and 7-6 victory over Spain's Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. That was in yesterday's final. The 3rd seed, Tsitsipas, hammered 21 winners and made only 11 unforced errors in the Monaco sunshine to win in 1 hour and 36 minutes. It was a 23-year-old Greek's 8th ATP title and his first in 11 months, as he made the perfect start to the clay court season. He joins now an illustrious list of players to win back-to-back Monte Carlo Masters, including the king of clay, Rafa Nadal, Juan Carlos Ferrero, Thomas Muster, and the legend Bjorn Borg. And then I would imagine a lot of aching muscles but smiling faces after this weekend's action out on the roads A massive congratulations to Gerda Steyn, who claimed a record-breaking third consecutive Two Oceans Marathon title in Cape Town yesterday morning. The 32-year-old becomes the first athlete in 22 years, in fact, to claim a hat-trick of victories in the ultramarathon. The highlight of her achievement was that she became the first woman to break 3.5 hour that barrier in the race with a magnificent time of, get this, 3 hours, 29 minutes and 42 seconds, absolutely obliterating the legend herself, Frith van der Merwe's previous course record of 3 hours 30.36. Then Erwet van Zyl, who led for a chunk of the race, ensured that a South African made it 1-2, while in the men's race it was won by Ethiopia's Edendale Belachu, who finished just 3 seconds agonizingly close to SA's Nkosikona Mhlakwana. So congratulations to all of the top runners and, of course, all of the weekend warriors and those who have been committed to their training for the last 3 months. Well done. But that's where we leave our sport for now. We'll delve into a little bit more of our weekend sporting action in a moment. But now let's catch up with the crazy weather at the moment here in South Africa. And again, our hearts go out to those in KZN.
Yes, thanks so much, G. Of course, it's time to take a look at the weather now for the first time, and our hearts definitely do go out for those in KZN. And we'll be reporting on that right now, where the death toll from floods that have battered South Africa's east coast has risen to 443 yesterday. Now, this toll was confirmed by Sihle Zikalala, who's the premier of KZN, and added that 63 other people were still unaccounted for. Now, floodwaters had engulfed parts of the southeastern coastal city of Durban and surrounding areas, ripping up roads, causing mudslides and sweeping away homes. The city of some 3.5 million was overcast yesterday, and national forecaster with the SA Weather Service, Puseletso Mofokeng, said the rainfall is going to clear completely as we move to Wednesday. And that was a quote by her. But humanitarian relief continued in the city, of which the beaches and warm Indian Ocean waters would normally have been teeming with Easter holiday makers. Now, Christians congregated at churches to pray for those affected by the floods yesterday on Easter Sunday. Some 40,000 people have been left homeless by these raging floodwaters. Now, as G echoes with those sentiments, everyone here from the team, our thoughts and prayers definitely are with all those affected during this incredibly challenging time. And we continue to commend the great work that volunteers and organizations are doing to assist those in need. Well, next up, we are moving from weather news to the sunrise views shared by you, our Expresso viewers, on our Facebook page. And we can't thank you enough for this, because it brightens up every single person's day. Now, coming through first up this morning, Eddie Pitt Rems from Tsanin, who shared this wonderful shot looking towards the silhouetted hills in his area just as the sun peaks up brightly and boldly as the day begins. Next up, regular contributor Ntokozo Theo Makatini. Now, he's coming all the way from Joburg this time, capturing yet another magnificent shot, showing off the moodiness of the sky filled with many hues of blue amongst the cloud cover. Beautiful stuff indeed, Mzansi. Thank you so much for these. But for now, let's take a first glance at the temperatures all across the country. And we'll start in Polokwane this time, where your day starts at 11, moving up to 19 degrees. Mbombela sees the day starting at 16, moving up to 18. In Pretoria, the day starts at 11, moving up to 21. Thunder showers and rain all the way through at this part of town. And Johannesburg, 9 is your low, moving up to 18, with thunder showers coming through on your side of town too. Over in Mahikeng, your day starting at 9, moving up to a high of 22. Klerksdorp sees a chillier start of 8, moving up to 21. And Kimberley, much the same. The chilliness starts with the 9 degrees Celsius, moving up to 22. And Bloemfontein, even chillier. 5 is your starting temperature, moving all the way up to 21 degrees. Over in Richards Bay, the thunder showers and rain continues. 16 is your low, moving up to 20. Pietermaritzburg, the rain continues. 11, moving up to 20 degrees. Over in Durban, the thunder showers continue. 17 is your low, moving up to 23. And Mthatha, not as much rainfall, but still coming through. 10 is your low, moving up to 21 degrees Celsius. Over in East London now, we're moving to a place which is welcoming as much rain as they can get right now. Your low is 15, moving up to 23 with a little bit of rain. Cradock, the rain is coming through, a little bit of a drizzle maybe. 8, moving up to 22. Maberga, lots of rain. Yes, please. 13, moving up to 21. And let us hope it moves to those catchment areas. And much the same for George. Not too much rainfall. A little bit of drizzle will always be welcomed. Your low is 12, moving up to 20 degrees Celsius. Over in the mother city, however, no no rain expected. Sunny skies with a low of 12 and a high of 23 degrees. Worcester, much the same with the rain, no rain at all. 13 being your low, moving up to a nice warm 30 degrees. Sutherland, a chillier start to the day at 8, moving up to 23. And Uppington, moderate temperatures, nice sunny skies. 12 being your low, moving up to a high of 29 degrees. Mzansi, on a beautiful day like this, on Family Day, I can't thank you enough for sending those pictures through wherever you're waking up inside of your world. And yeah, keep them coming and keep bringing those smiles to our faces. But let's check up with the rest of the team and see what else is happening on the show.
Well, we are ready for breakfast.
I am. I'm going to zhuzh it up a little bit. Okay.
Yes, please.
So we've got our granola. This is what my kids are on at the moment, which means I'm snacking a lot of it in between. The fruits of the forest.
Oh, and it is a strawberry. That is strawberry and cranberry flavor, right?
It's got so many delicious layers of flavour in it. It's lovely.
I am ready for this. And it is Family Day, so hopefully you and the kids are having a wonderful morning. And if you want to join in, we're going to do a little bit of yoga. I think there's quite a few parents that just need a bit of a...
Yeah, a woo-sa moment. And we're going to do it in quite a creative way with a bit of performance. Go with your spoon out. Let's not mix spoons. I don't know how it works. And, of course, then we're going to be back in this kitchen creating something insanely delicious. If you've got any leftover hot cross buns, let's make a cake. Oh, can't wait. And?
I hope you'll always know how much I love you. I hope that you never stop learning and growing. That you'll be brave and joyful and kind. And that one day, when you look at me and I look at you, we'll love the wonderful you that you've become. It all begins with purity. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, welcome back. I'm Zanzi. Of course, it's Family Day, and a lot of you might be on a sugar high, so we've got something perfect for you to calm the soul. Now, the goal of yoga is to strengthen your mind, body, and spirit. So to achieve this, most yoga types include breathing exercises, meditation, poses, as well as stretches. Now, music usually accompanies most practices, and the reason is actually really simple. It enhances the experience. Now, someone who knows all about the importance of music in yoga is our yogi and musician, Johan Kutsia, who combines the two on a daily basis, and I cannot wait to be re-energized with nothing but positive energy. How are you doing, my friend?
Thank you, great.
Namaste. So you've got something special planned for us? Obviously, I know with the weekend, a lot of us have come through a lot of intense times, a lot of chaos, preparing last minute. So this is going to be great to just kind of calm the soul and allow us to resonate on a better frequency, right?
Absolutely. Probably the most important aspects of yoga practice is to be centered, means to be strong in yourself, so that the outside influences, whatever they are, don't run you over. Simple as that. So one of the most basic and amazing practices in yoga is to just simply stand. Okay. So people often associate yoga with a lot of movements, and we'll do some of that as well. But just merely standing on both feet. And the most powerful part of that is to put your weight on both legs equally. So when you take a large inhale, and you sink by slightly bending the knees and exhaling towards the ground, you immediately become calm. So in terms of breath, you take a large inhale, and you exhale and you bend down a little bit into the legs, and you feel more centered. And then when you move from there, in a very simple manner, we'll do a power pose, which is a warrior in yoga.
All right. So
you're putting one arm out to the front and one arm to the back. And as you breathe, you're already centered. You open up the chest, so you get calm, but you also get stronger.
Nice.
You're energizing, your energy comes up, but you ground at the same time.
And there's a bit of strength and comfort in this position. I feel very balanced, I feel strong, but at the same time, opening up indeed. I
Absolutely,
like that.
It opens you up. So as soon as you start to take the feet further apart, and you continue the breathing on a rhythm pattern, big exhale, you'll find that the energy rises, but you become grounded. You don't hyperventilate. So you'll inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose, and then stretch into the hands. Bring the arms down, that's an exhale. And then bring the feet together. And you'll feel you start to change.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll usually a lot more relaxed indeed.
So we'll usually repeat the same practice to the other side, combination. So when you go down there and you open up the body more, and I'm going to do it with you, at you. So when you take this knee out a little bit further, and you're opening up the chest more, and you raise this hand just a bit more, and then powerful breath in the nose and out through the nose, you'll find that your core abdominal muscle strength, it pulls back on the exhale, and that gives you a lot more amplification of energy. So when you exhale, bringing the hands down from there, and you bring the feet together, you'll feel a changed person straight away.
Yeah, definitely. Empowering stuff.
So to bring us back to a center and a symmetrical uprightness, we can bring the feet together, and then bringing the hands down like that, yeah? And you'll raise the arms high up. And then raise your face to look up at the hand. One caution there, you don't want to take the neck too far back, so you keep the head up, but not too far back, just to keep it safe for people with a neck issue. And then placing the feet wide as your mat is, you can stretch forward and then have the hands palms facing. So we're talking about very simple practices, yeah? And your back will go flat in this region. And if you could raise the arms and stretch harder down, you'll start to feel, if you breathe faster breath with the strong exhales, relax all the way down with your hands to the feet, and then let your head hang down as well. And then when you roll up, you bend the knees, but you keep the head down. Yeah, that's beautiful. So that gives you a release from the forward stretch.
The tightness in the body there was exploited, definitely, that interior change, especially the lower back, feeling it in the glutes as well, and especially on the shoulders. And this is just the beginning of these movements. It's eliminating that tightness for me. We do have another round of yoga next up in a little bit, so this will continue for a lot of us of this weekend, obviously dealing with a little tightness, dealing with a little strain. This is a perfect way to embrace that positivity and at the same time kind of just feel a lot better, and that's what's happening right now. So hopefully you can join us for this next session. Of course, Jan's going to be taking us through that, and oh man, that was absolutely sensational. Already feeling the good vibes, and this will continue, Mzansi. We'll see you in just a bit.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That looks absolutely stunning. Now, the Easter weekend has come and gone, but that doesn't mean the treats have come and gone.
Sir.
They're still here. Stick around.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic!
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.
classic, and we love to see it. And you might be sitting with an abundance of hot cross buns, and that's because you don't stay in my house, because at my house we eat all of those and get through them all. Maybe you're sitting with them and you're wondering what to do with them. Today we are turning these Easter delights into a leftover hot cross bun cake. Yes, with the deliciousness of Clover Classic custard. And G-Man,
It's dramatic,
It's
baby.
dramatic.
Just when you thought you couldn't get any more life experience out of a hot cross bun, because it's always like, do you toast it, do you not toast it, do you put something on it, do you go the savory route, all of those things. You think you've exhausted yourself?
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
So you're
There
giving
is
it
still
another life,
one last
a new
hurrah.
life.
And I love this. I love this flavor profile. So we're going to be using, obviously, our Clover Classic custard to take this to a slightly higher level. But if you've got those buns that are kind of on the edge of, you know, freshness,
yes,
this is ideal for them. Or if you just can't handle anymore, this is a great way to see yourself out in a ball of flaming glory, because this is going to be the most decadent Easter treat you've had.
I mean, I can't believe that. The thing is, with Easter treats and food and all of that that's left over, especially the hot cross buns, you'll find that some of them really do take a bit of a different shape. Where everyone goes for the really solid, full, nicely done ones. They'll leave the ones with like a little bit of an edge that's cut off.
Shame. So is this the rejects?
The factory rejects, this is where they really do show their usefulness.
Don't worry. Okay, so it is actually really, really simple here. So what we've got is our hot cross buns, obviously. So this is what I need you to do, is to cut up the remaining hot cross buns into three cross sections. So those effectively are the 3 layers of our cake. And then we've gone for a beautiful cream cheese icing.
Ooh, what do you mean by that?
I know. I absolutely love this kind of flavor profile. You'll often have it with like a red velvet cake or a carrot cake or something like that, where it's almost kind of salty sweet. It just works so well, and you can imagine we're going to ripple through our Clover Classic custard as well, just to add a little extra zhuzh.
Decadence.
Okay, so once you are... How's it going there?
Doing so well.
Hard?
So well. No, it's very easy. It's very easy. And the thing is, I mean, you know, hot cross buns, regardless of how long you've had them for sitting in your cupboard, they'll still retain a level of softness, unless you really did leave them out in the air and you just like kind of just chuck them out. But they really will retain
if there are any left.
You know what I mean? If there are any left. Okay, so you've got
I've been thinking, okay, so what I've done is I've taken the base, and you want to try and get as much in there as you can to fully cover. That's actually working out perfectly. Well done. Is that our base? And then what I'm going to do... Oh, this is going to be amazing.
It is going to be amazing.
And it really is simple. I mean, if you wanted to zhuzh this up with some nuts or pistachios or something like that, then we've got... So, as I was saying, it's quite difficult to find store-bought cream cheese icing. Just made our own. Cream cheese, icing sugar. Boom. Easy peasy.
So a lot of whisking and mixing together, but it really all does come out super, super worth it at the end.
Yeah, and I love it. Like, it's that...
Kind of generous,
sometimes salty works well with sweet, and this is just one of those. And especially with the spiciness of the hot cross buns, so I'm going to use. I'm trying to just gauge. I'm going to use about half.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is fairly rustic, so you don't have to worry about exact proportions and everything. So what I'm going to do now, just to be cool,
is get our Clover Classic custard there. We know that our Clover Classic custard is versatile to use with dessert, and it's delicious on its own. And you know what you're going to get out of there? You're going to get that creamy, smooth, and delicious flavor of Clover Classic custard that really does complement the spicy flavors that you will get through or get coming out of your hot cross buns.
Okay,
so this is really a fantastic way to get that all coming together.
I went for a bit of a rippling effect. I might have used a little bit too much custard, but hey.
No, it can never be
too much custard. Or maybe I used
custard.
just enough.
I think you actually deliberately put in as much custard as you did put in. So this is stunning.
I'm missing a middle piece. Okay, there we go. And now you get the idea. Then I'm going to use the remaining icing and do the ripple, put on the top, and then the joy of this particular cake goes into the fridge. 20 minutes, comes out looking spectacular.
I love that. Okay, that looks really good. If you want the recipe, go on to expressoshow.com. You are going to want the recipe. Of course, you do want the recipe.
You need the recipe.
You need the recipe. expressoshow.com. If you are wanting to celebrate your everyday occasions with Clover Classic and stand a chance to win your share of 50,000 rand. What? Oh, yes. In prizes, then all you have to do is to enter is buy any Clover Classic product and WhatsApp the till slip of your purchase to, here's the number, 074-909-0000. The T's and C's, you can find them on clover.co.za. That looks so good. Can't wait to dig in. Well done, Genealogy. Put it here, put it here, put it here, put it here. Boom. Yeah. Pow.
Perfect.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Time to delve back into the sport. And man, is this not the best representation of sport in the country? We love it. It is a talent factory. I'm talking about the 2022 Varsity Cup. And of course, the season is now reaching the business end with the semi-finals taking place tonight. There's a lot on the line. Top of the table, Shimlas will play Tuks in that second semi at 7 p.m. tonight. But before that is a classic clash between UCT and Marties at 4:30 p.m. Talk about derby action. This tie has a bit of a twist, though, with brothers Suleiman and Munir Hartzenberg having their allegiances in different camps. Suleiman currently playing for UCT and Munir having represented the team from Marties. Gentlemen, good morning. You look so nervous, man. They joined us this morning to chat about, of course, the game and what it's like to come up against one another. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Happy Family Day. Great to have you here. It's good to keep it in the family on Family Day. With this kind of rivalry, how far does it go? Because outside of your family bonds, this is one of the fiercest rivalries in South African sport, never mind varsity rugby. How tough is this encounter between these two siblings?
I mean, there's always like this battle between like, do I support my brother or do I support my alma mater, you know what I mean? So it's quite challenging. I support both indeed, of course, but my allegiance has to go to my alma mater. when I know I do support my brother as well. And
you can love him after the game. It's fine, man. You can still be proud of him even when he loses. Okay. Sulaiman, UCT finishing second overall, beating CUT 34-24 in the last game. A lot of confidence going into this one, but we know this stage of a competition, anything can happen. You've got to kind of erase the past. How are you guys feeling going into what promises to be a pretty tense one?
To be honest, I think we prepared quite well. Even though we beat Marty's the previous encounter, we're still not letting that get the best of us. Like, we still kept the same prep and throughout, so yeah. And I think we're quite confident going in. Like, but we know we're not underestimating them because they're quality side.
But I don't know if you want to say it again, but you did beat them last time. Yeah. How many times does he bring that into conversation? Like, here's your coffee, bud, just to soften the blow of us beating you the last time. It's going to happen. Meneer Marty's just a machine, the juggernaut that is. They've got such an unbelievably proud rugby history, and certainly in this particular competition. 40-31 win against UWC. Hopefully a lot of confidence, but you have been beaten before by this team, so I'm sure not going into it lightly. How do you think the team is feeling?
I think there's definitely nerves along the way, but there's also that that feeling for revenge, actually. So they're going to definitely be hungry to come out guns blazing and to actually dominate the battlefield, you know. It's quite difficult to play against a side that beat you before. So
well, that fire must burn, man. Well, that being said, what is the mindset going into this game? How were you guys able to do that last time out, and how much of that is going to affect how you're playing tonight? Is it a clean slate, completely new game, or are you going to take some of what you were able to pull off in that last encounter and apply that tonight?
I think we're definitely taking some of what we did last time, because I feel like they'll adjust the game, but not too much. Because I feel like they'll just go back to their roots, which we know it's going to be a physical game. Yeah. It's going to be tough, and it's going to be hard to beat them. So, yeah, and I think we adapted our game a bit, and it's going to be an interesting one tonight.
UCT is such an exciting side, so many runners. I know the physicality is always going to be that first battle line that's drawn, but what do Marty's have to do to win this one? And how are you feeling about going on to take the tournament? I would imagine being maroon that you're pretty confident you can take this thing.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think the guys, they've got the abilities to come out there and take the tournament, actually. And yeah, it's just one of those things where you're not the favorite anymore. And no one actually thinks that you can do it, but the guys know they can.
Just have you got a target on your back, bro? Just watch it. 80 points a day.
It's a big one.
It's so cool that you guys have kept this in the family. I know you are both helping to continue a very proud rugby tradition in both houses. I am a complete neutral, so I can enjoy, from a neutral's perspective, what is one of the greatest showdowns in varsity rugby or in South African sports. Hopefully we'll see the boys go out and express themselves. So enjoy it. I know you're going to be torn into, you just have a razor-like focus, my friend. And if there's going to be a winning try scored, come on, son, and then you'll be able to lord that over him for another year. But to all of the fans, enjoy soaking it up. We've waited so long to see this kind of rugby, and trust me, the most exciting rugby you will see is on varsity field. So go and support your teams and give it everything on the sidelines, and of course the players enjoy it.
Absolutely love it. Yes, so much excitement, so much nerves, and maybe even anxiety as we lead up to the game. So here's a great way to get all those nerves jam-packed into a better space and get better control of it. So we are continuing with our music and yoga experience this morning alongside our yogi and musician, Johan Coetzee. Now, we were talking about it earlier, but I have to mention it again. Adding music to your yoga routine can have so many benefits, including boosting your concentration, relaxing the body, lower stress, and it just makes it easier to get into the flow of the routine. And if you haven't noticed in the first part already, the music that you're hearing is actually composed by Johan himself. So you can find all of his incredible music, the tunes that get you into the spirit. That's Johan Coetzee, music and photography. That correct, right? Music and yoga. Yes, music and yoga, sorry. Photography will maybe come later on. But for now, you're already painting the picture with your body and doing something perfect. We had a nice little warm-up and an intro into yoga. Are we going to carry on with that same trend?
Yeah, we'll do exactly the same practice that we did just now, but with a slight adjustment. So not exactly the same.
And I'm noticing the music has more of an upper beat tone to this one,
and it gives us a bit of a vibe and a lift.
Okay, I like that. Right.
Okay, so for this one, we'll begin at the back of the mat.
Okay.
And then for the viewers looking at us, they're gonna put their right foot forward.
All right, so viewers, you heard it. You're gonna join in on us with this one, especially after the Easter weekend. This is gonna be the perfect way to ground. All right, we're all with you.
So we put our left foot forward.
Yes.
So we just take a big step there, raise the arms up, and then the back foot would be at about with the heel down, with the foot pointing forward. So the whole chest is up and open. So what you'll feel, and I will go and help you on that one, is that as you sink lower down, so the key here is to sink lower down, and if it's okay for your neck, you can look up to about here and take the arms further back. And the idea of that practice, if I show from the other side, is it gives you a rising arch. Okay, so you're not sinking down with the upper body, but you're sinking into the ground with the hips. And if you continue with a large breath, another 2 or 3, you will feel a huge amount of energy flowing into your legs as well, via the chest, of course. So when you step up, you can go in one big breath and then exhale.
Definitely felt that stimulation in the hips for sure.
Opens you up like
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
Then you step to the back and you simply do the same thing and step forward. Take the arms up, and when you're ready, when you're grounded, you can look up at in the direction of the sky or ahead of you in front. And then you'll feel, if you start pumping with the breath a little bit more powerful, maybe take the arms further back, in the nose, out the nose, you will definitely feel that the expanding of the chest and the strengthening of your legs adds to your overall cardiovascular energy. One more time like that. And bringing the hands down on the out breath, we can step up on the inhale to the front leg.
Whew, that is power, man. Yeah, the hip, the pelvic girdle, getting massive stimulation.
Absolutely.
But more so, every breath I take, it feels like that chest kind of expands and opens up more and more, allows me to get more relaxed in that posture. At first, I will be honest, felt a bit tight, it felt a bit
closed,
like awkward, closed off. Body's guarding against it.
Absolutely.
But it's almost like just invite that breath in and it kind of lets the body relax. I love that feeling. All right.
To counter that open chest, we'll put the feet as wide as the mat is.
All right.
Interlace the fingers at the back like that.
Okay.
And then you'll bend over forward with your head going towards between the knees. So to make that possible, you may want to bend the knees more. Cool. And you let the head hang free and down. So that common office tension or morning tension that sits here, you can release that by letting release of the neck and the head and the weight of the head. And then as you exhale, you'll find now you're warming up and the arms will just go over more and more and more and more. And this is a huge stimulation for circulation to the brain. Come up on the inhale, exhale, and you'll absolutely feel like it's a lifted energy.
Hey man, I gotta tell you, these tight positions you're getting me into at first, it's so uncomfortable, but the minute I breathe,
body melts into
it. That tightness just dissipates and you feel like you're almost just erupting into something new. I absolutely love this. Jan Kitsia taking us through an exceptional music and yoga journey, and we've got one more coming at you in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. I'm feeling so zen already. I'm feeling so calm. And if you're joining us with this one, and I know you are too, but don't go anywhere. One more coming at you.
Thank you.
Simple as CBD should be.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. We are carrying on with the magic right now with yogi and musician Johan Kotze, and he's back with us one last time this morning as we continue to explore the benefits of music and yoga, and maybe even in the form of therapy too. Now, both yoga and music are similar in the sense that they were developed as ways to achieve harmony between the heart and soul on the path to a divine enlightenment. Now, music makes use of various instruments to produce melodious tunes and sounds, and yoga transforms the body into an instrument itself, which paves the way for a healthier way of life. And with that being said, you can call this therapy. It's like going to church. It's like music and therapy for the soul, which I absolutely love. If you've joined us for the first 2 sessions, then I'm sure you've felt that already, and we're going to continue with that one last time with the yogi himself. You ready for this one?
Fantastic.
So what are we going through now?
For this one, I'm going to show you some back practices.
All right. Do you want me to turn my mat as well?
No, you can keep yours like that. So what I'll quickly show you.
Okay.
So essentially, a lot of people have a lot of lower back pain.
Most a lot of our viewers complain about that.
Right.
Yeah.
So yoga, it's not a quick fix, but it's a fantastic therapeutic tool to simply lie on the back like that.
Yeah.
And then give your knee a hug.
Okay.
It's just like that.
Okay.
So if you want to try that, I'll show you.
Let me go down.
Let's
move these backs out of the way.
Your viewers will see if you bend the knees, feet to the floor.
Both of them?
Yeah. That the lower back goes flat to the floor, right?
Yeah.
So if you lengthen at the back of the neck, it releases all tension from your back.
Oh, so instead of having that arch and looking up, relax the neck, relax the head. Almost kind of try to get the neck onto the mat.
Yeah. And then the primary tool of yoga is the breath. So when you exhale there, you'll feel that the spine releases all tension. So it's important if you want to exhale and bring the head up to the knees on the out breath. So if you want to do that on the next exhale, you'll get a further lengthening of the spinal cord and the vertebra and the back muscles. And as you put the head to the ground, next inhale, legs up to the roof.
Feet to the roof?
Just straight up, or bend knees is good. And then rock yourself upright from there. So you can roll up on the inhale, bring the whole body up. So you can roll yourself with the head up, like a half roll there. You'll find that immediately your energy is again that calm that we talked about in the beginning, but your back feels better.
I must say, the minute I started breathing while lying on my back, the tension releases, and the best way I can describe it is like that melting sensation, or tension around those intercostal muscles around the spine, just going,
Exactly. Absolutely.
Literally feels like that, like oozing into happiness. I love that.
So that's a really important unwinder at the yoga practice, so that when we do those stronger practices, that we ground into the body. So I often say that it's like all about being in the body, but on the ground.
Yeah.
Whether you stand or sit. So if I wanted to show that to you quickly and you get a visual of it, if I do one leg like that, and you can also do one leg at a time, then you'll see that the lower back goes flat to the ground, and if you lift the head up like that, you get a tremendous stretch out of the lower back like that.
I felt for me, especially when I was in this position, from being down at my neck on the ground, once lifting that head, I felt more of the lower back almost releasing and stretching out. Also the glutes at the same time behind the body. So this is fantastic stuff, man.
So if you do one leg at a time, you get an even greater result. But I would usually do it in a combination. For myself or for therapy clients, as well as for classes.
I think Mzansi is going to absolutely love this, and I think at the same time, a great way after an intense weekend maybe, or after a hard day of work, just to kind of unwind, recalibrate, and get this therapy. I like how you mentioned it. It feels like therapy. It's a combination of music, moving the body in a beautiful way, and Johan, I can't thank you enough.
And it's a self-therapy, so that's really fantastic.
Mzansi, of course, there you have it. 3 beautiful sessions, recalibrating, getting the body back in tune, and of course, you want to find more of the incredible music to go along with the yoga, then you can head over to this man's socials. That's Johan Kotze, music and yoga. It's got everything that you need, upbeat, low, recalming, relaxing. We got you covered. Johan, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I must stay.
Thank you for having me.
Just wrap that man in a little blanket and leave him in the corner of the studio to sleep, man. Beautiful stuff. I can't tell you how different the energy in studio is this morning. But lest we forget, it is an Easter Monday, and chances are that you might still receive some unexpected visitors during the course of the day. So to get yourself out of any sticky situation, why not entertain them with the goodness of 100% refreshing crushed juice served with a pie made with leftovers. Ooh. Yes, 100%. Yes, in fact.
I'm here for leftovers.
For sure,
I live off leftovers.
Yeah, nothing gets wasted, and we live by that principle in our kitchen. Nothing ever gets thrown away in this kitchen. We really do try and use absolutely every last drop.
Thank you very much.
That's just purely for refreshment. That's just to keep you in the game.
Purely for refreshment, to keep me hydrated while we make this delicious recipe.
Okay, so you're on the filling duty, I'm on the pastry duty, and this does require a little bit of TLC. You're going to get your hands and your fingers a little bit dirty, so it's absolutely the funnest part of the process. If you want to involve little people, this is a good place
to do it.
Yeah, this is where they'll really have a lot of fun. So we've got our flour. I'm going to combine the butter and the salt.
And while you're busy with the crust, if I can call it that, I'm going to start with our filling. So I've got some shredded leftover chicken. We're going to bulk it up with some veggies. So we have some of our leftover broccoli.
And for me, chicken, cheese, broccoli baked is just magic.
And add a little bit of corn, and you are winning at life. So we're adding some corn here.
Okay, so I've got the butter. It's been worked in. I'm putting in 1 egg. And then what I'm going to do is I've got the water here. Use sparingly as you need it, just to wet your dough as you start to work it through. So don't go get ahead of yourself.
I'm going to add our spring onion, a little bit of parsley, as well as some spices, so some salt, pepper, as well as some garlic powder.
Here we go. It's amazing that garlic powder has been the revelation for me this year. We've used garlic powder in almost everything.
I have to say, garlic powder and onion powder is something I've recently started to enjoy using.
Just layers of flavor profile.
And then I have some store-bought cheese sauce. And this is just going to tie it all together.
I mean, if you've got a cheese sauce, I know that looks beautiful. If you've got a cheese sauce recipe that you love, go for it, man. But you can find some amazing cheese sauces out there. So now my dough is coming together.
We need as much of the sauce as possible.
Here we go.
So we're going to scoop it out of our little container here.
Okay, so once this starts to form a dough ball, it's starting to come together. A bit more water. What you want to do, have a little bit of cling wrap ready. Once you've got it into a dough ball shape, wrap it in the cling wrap, get it into the fridge to prove for about an hour or so. Then it should be looking good. A little bit longer is fine. Then you're going to take it out and you're going to roll it out into like a nice, long, flat, rectangular piece. You're going to line the base of your ramekin, your tin, and then you layer in your gorgeous looking filling that does look amazing.
And if you want the extra added cheesiness, we do have some shredded little bit of cheddar cheese. You just add that in there. It's going to melt in the oven when this goes in. It's going to be delicious.
But it's going to be gooey. It's going to be delicious. And that collie is going to get, the broccoli is going to give it that beautiful nutty flavor profile. And like I say, that combination of the broccoli and the cheese as a bake is just amazing. And the chicken, absolutely lovely.
So you mentioned collie. I'm pretty sure if you've got some leftover cauliflower, that will also work brilliantly in this recipe.
Well, I mean, the whole point here is it's about using up what you've got left over from all of the feasts. So if you want to add something that you know, if you enjoy that flavor profile, do it, man. While I keep working through my dough, which is starting to come together beautifully. I've got to say, this dish perfect for entertaining, whether it's your friend, you know, especially if you weren't expecting people to be dropping by today. This is an ideal plan B to have in your back pocket. And with the 100% goodness in every sip of crush, you're guaranteed the perfect refreshment that the whole family will love for all of life's best moments, especially those surprise moments when guests have just popped by. But remember to add some crush to your day. Not only is it 100% fruity and tasty, but it's also stacked with 100% goodness. So, as I said, once the pastry's done, you've rolled it out, base of the tin, layer in your filling, cover it, a little bit of egg wash, pop it into the oven for about 20 minutes or so, let it brown nicely, and you've got yourself the most delicious Easter pie.
Oh, and if you want to get your hands on it, it is available on our website, expressoshow.com.
Here we go.
Ooh, it's going to make for a good meal.
Oh, that's coming together.
Yes, bring the family. 100%. Your cousin's coming over. Get the crush and I'll get the ice. The whole family.
More Crush Mom, 100% refreshing, 100% goodness.
Made with love by Clover. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. Yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. It's the Family Day edition or special of it on a Monday morning. Thank you very much for joining us after that beautiful Easter weekend. Now, Tropika Island of Treasure this year, it's going big with the best of the best in the All-Star Season 10 and some incredible prizes up for grabs. Big ones, big prizes.
Massive. So what we want you guys to do right now, get in your car and do it. Buy the promotional Tropika bottle with the red cap, then find your code under that red cap, and that'll enable you to stand a chance of winning loads of instant prizes. We're talking airtime, we're talking data, we're talking Uber vouchers.
Okay, all right, okay. Plus, if you find treasure under the cap, you will then win one of 10 big prizes, such as, wait for it, the Suzuki products worth 250,000 Rand. Uber vouchers worth 10,000 Rand. Rest assured beds, a trip to the Seychelles.
What?
Okay, let's pause right there. And more.
Incredible. So what you have to do is just follow the instructions on the pack to enter by dialing star 120 star 8767 star. Then you enter your unique code followed by the hashtag, of course, or just hashtag on your cell phone, and that's how you enter. Easy peasy, man.
So go and buy Tropika today, like Graham said, get in your car right now. You could win one of your own treasures. T's and C's do apply, and you can find those T's and C's on tropika.co.za. Go after the show. Okay?
Yeah, man, and start thinking about the amazing prizes you can win. While you're on it, start thinking about that entry video that you're going to be sending in, and it has to be amazing. I cannot wait to start seeing those auditions, because then, of course, you put yourself in line to win your share of 1 million Rand.
Ooh.
We are back with the best of the best in the All-Star Season 10 of Tropika Island of Treasure, and we're going big! Buy a Tropika, find your code under the cap, and stand a chance to win loads of instant prizes. Plus, if you find the treasure under the cap, you will win one of 10 big prizes. See pack for details. Tropika, nothing smoother.
Well, time is now 7 o'clock. Time for us to take a look at your morning headlines. I'll start with national news. A policewoman and a police dog, which had tried to save her, died yesterday during a flood search and rescue operation. Sergeant Busisiwe Mjwara, 42, was a police diver in the Pietermaritzburg Search and Rescue Unit. The police said she was conducting a search at about 11:30 a.m. at Henley Dam for 3 victims that had drowned earlier in the week when she got into a bit of difficulty and drowned. A dog named Leah from the Durban Central Search and Rescue Unit, which had attempted to assist the sergeant, also drowned. And staying with local news, President Cyril Ramaphosa has postponed an official visit to Saudi Arabia to focus on the government's intervention in the devastating floods in KwaZulu-Natal. Together with various cabinet ministers, he visited some of the province's most affected areas on Wednesday. Since then, the death toll has risen to 443. Rescue teams are using dogs to search for many missing people. Ramaphosa was due to travel tomorrow, but the postponement will allow him and his cabinet to assess the damage caused by the floods and address the crisis. We now move to news abroad. Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal has said defenders of the besieged port of Mariupol will fight to the end against Russian forces. He said the city had not yet fallen despite a Russian ultimatum to remaining Ukrainian fighters to give up. Russia's earlier claim that its troops had cleared the urban area of Mariupol, the scene of the war's heaviest fighting and worst humanitarian catastrophe, could not be independently verified. It would be the first major city to have fallen to Russian forces since their February 24th invasion. And staying with news abroad, some countries have offered to help Tunisia prevent damage to the environment after a merchant ship carrying up to 1,000 tons of oil sank off the coast of Gabes, the Tunisian Defense Ministry said yesterday. The ship heading from Equatorial Guinea to Malta sank on Friday. The Tunisian Navy rescued all 7 crew members. The vessel was carrying between 750 and 1,000 tons of fuel. It sent a distress call when it was 7 miles from Gabes, to which the Tunisian Navy responded. Bad weather has been blamed for the ship sinking. And now bring it back to home. The Stellenbosch University Choir again holds the top position for World Amateur Choirs in the authoritative ranking list for the 2022 of Interculture, organizer of the World Choir Games and multiple international choir competitions. Choral singers from across the globe compete in these competitions around the world every year and are able to connect with each other through music. Conducted by André van der Merwe since 2003, the Stellenbosch University Choir is at the top of the list. As far as Interculture's rankings go, this choir has the maximum possible amount of points. The choir first attended the World Choir Games in 2004 and has since competed in almost every one, winning in all categories. During the 2014 World Choir Games in Riga, the capital of Latvia, the choir achieved 99 points in the mixed choirs category and thus also holds the current World Choir Games record. The choir is the oldest university choir in South Africa. It was established in 1936 and its first conductor was the late William Morris. Well, on that very inspiring note, that's where I leave your morning headlines. Here's another look at your weather.
Thank you so much, Zoe. Now to take a look at the weather once again and report on some great news for the environment. Now, research released by our World in Data shows that Scotland's forests have recovered to levels last seen nearly 1,000 years ago. Now, in just under a century, forest coverage in Scotland has grown from around 6% to nearly 18%. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Now, 1,000 years ago, 20% of Scotland's land was covered by forest. By the mid-18th century, only 4% of the country was forested. But for the last 2 centuries, forests have been growing and are almost back to where they were 1,000 years ago. In England, the picture is also very promising. In the late 11th century, 15% of the country was forested, but by the 19th century, the forest area had been reduced to 1/3 of what it once was. It was then that England reached its transition point, and since then, forests have doubled in size. We absolutely love a positive story, especially when it comes in the form of progressing and preserving our environment. Now, it's time for us to take a look at some of the incredible pictures, and 7 a.m. we had an update with 2 regular contributors, which absolutely showed us the beauty of our country and how we need to preserve it. Vincent Lutuli, all the way from Durban, with this first up shot, sharing a moody, silhouetted shot, showing the sun, trying to break through the cloud cover and provide a bit of relief from the downpour that recently had occurred. Next up, Gary Orkamp from East London beachfront, capturing this stunning shot, overlooking the ocean, showing off a similarly overcast skyline. Absolutely love it, Mzansi. Keep bringing it through and keep making that smile present itself right on our dial, and that's because of your incredible pictures. Now, let's take another look at the temperatures across the country, starting off in Polokwane. Today starting at 11, moving up to 19 degrees with some rain coming through. Umberbela, the thunder showers continue, 16, moving up to 18 degrees. Over in Pretoria, thunder showers continue, 11 all the way up to 21 degrees. In Johannesburg, hey, let it rain, and it does continue, 9 all the way up to 18 degrees Celsius. Now, over in Mahikeng, the day starting at a chilly 9, but moving up to a moderate 22 degrees Celsius. Over in Klerksdorp, 8 is your low, moving up to 21. Kimberley, another chilly start of 9, moving up to 22. And the chilliest start, it seems, all the way in Bloemfontein, 5 degrees Celsius, moving up to a moderately warm 21 degrees. Over in Richards Bay, however, the rain and thunder showers continue, 16, moving up to 20 degrees Celsius. Pietermaritzburg, much the same, 11, moving up to 20 degrees. Over in Durban, your day starting at 17, moving up to 23 degrees. And then in Mthatha, 10 is your low, moving up to a high of 21 degrees. Over in East London now, and obviously this area welcoming as much rain as it can get. 15 is your low, moving up to 23 with a little bit of rain. Craddock, the rain continues, moderate as it is, it's still welcome. Your day starts at 8, moving up to 22. Mabeja, the rain continues, 13, moving up to 21 with a lot of rain. Let us celebrate that. Over in George, 12 is your low, moving up to 20 degrees Celsius. And then over in the mother city, Cape Town sees the day starting at 12, moving up to 23 degrees. Worcester sees the day starting at 13, moving up to 30. Sutherland, a chillier start of 8, moving up to 23. And last but not least, Uppington, 12 is your low, moving up to a high of 29 degrees. Again, Mzansi, thank you so much for sending those incredible pictures in. For now, though, we've got a musician that is going to leave you gripping for more. Check this out.
Yes, our next guest is a groundbreaking South African guitarist by the name of Derek Gripper, who's played on some of the world's largest and I think most famous stages. He's an award-winning South African performer, composer and arranger who's most well known for evoking the West African instrument called the kora through his guitar. But let's get a little sneak peek. Take a look.
Back when I still owned a suit jacket.
Wow. He said he sold his suit jacket. He didn't need one for this morning. It's family day on Expresso. Let's give the man, Derek Gripper, a massive round of applause and a warm welcome.
Thank you.
This is like the most chilled out day that the show has ever had. So that was as much as we could muster. Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Because we are so happy to have you here. Before we get into what sounds like an incredible musical journey, I have to ask this of every artist that crosses our doors. How are you, my friend?
How am I?
How are you, dude? How have these last 2 crazy years
last 2
you, my friend?
You know, I've had a very good time. I've been really lucky. I started a little group online. It's kind of like a guitar ashram for people all over the world. So there's a few hundred people around the world who are into this style of music, and we've been playing together on a daily basis in, you know, multiple time zones because they're in America and China, Australia, everywhere. And that's what I've been keeping myself busy with. So it's been an opportunity to really like hone in on the music, you know, not to go and play a concert for an hour with everything, but to spend an hour doing just one little part.
Just be pure about that, and also connect to a global village, and I've felt that. I think the world has gotten a lot smaller, and we love that. You talk about this style of music, and this is what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Tumani Diabate.
Nicely
the
done.
Inspiration, is that all right?
That's
I
good.
hope so. So obviously you do have a classical kind of training and a background, the Western influence. What drew you to his music specifically? What was it? Because this seems to have evolved into something far beyond even a career. This feels like a calling. This feels like you're doing something beyond just creating music. Why were you inspired by this performer so much?
I don't really know, but I think, you know, in '96, I think it was, Salif Keita came to South Africa. That was the first concert I saw of a non-South African musician. So maybe that was a thing.
What a great way to
what a great way to open the doors.
Into that space, yeah.
But I think, you know, I woke up and I was like, oh, I can play this guitar. You know, you learn it, you try to learn the instrument, but then you look at the repertoire, the things that the guitar plays, the classical guitar. It's Spanish music, you know, it's classical music, which I didn't feel it was what I was listening to. So at some point I had to look and say, well, what am I actually listening to? And that happened, and then also I heard a recording by your man Tumani Diabate, which had, it was a nylon string instrument like a guitar, but it's a harp. But it had everything of that I had learned in the conservatory, you know, the classical kind of interweaving of parts, the complexity, but it also had improvisation, it also had the trance, the repetition. So I heard this and I was like, you know, why did I choose to play the guitar? Yeah.
So what you've been doing is you've been basically playing a different instrument through the guitar. Okay, so
exactly.
How does this all come together? And this is where the mastery of your instrument really does come to bear. Can you show me how you take what would traditionally be done on a kora, which has 21 strings, and let it flow through those 6 strings? How does that work?
So how it works is, you know, the kora, you don't shorten the string. So you've got 21 strings that are there, you know. We have to make those notes by, you know, by shortening. So that's how
you're
the
creating
21
additional strings by shortening
exactly.
them. Okay.
So the guitar is a harp, a 6-string harp that you shorten strings with, you know. So what Tumani did was, he's a griot. Griots are the you know, they're an 800-year tradition of storytellers, matchmakers, you know, everything. And musicians. They don't have to be musicians, though. A griot isn't necessarily a musician, but
comes with the territory.
Comes with the territory. So they would use music as a way to tell a story, you know. So as I'm talking to you and telling you about the griots, I'd also be, you know, playing this thing which is called the kumbengo. So the classes I do are called kumbengo classes. We learn these kumbengos and how to vary them, you know. And then once you get bored of hearing my voice, then I can
rock a little ad-lib there.
And I go back and I carry on telling, you know, my story. So that's the main thing. But what Tumani did, which was very unique, is he could incorporate the story, which would be the singing, into the instrument. So he makes the instrument sing. So he has the bass, you know, which is would be like maybe your one instrument, and then he has the rhythm guitar. Oh my. You know, and then you have the whole song that happens on top.
My word, I have a feeling we are going to be transported to another place today, my friend. I cannot wait to continue this chat, and most importantly, I cannot wait to see you perform. Thank you so much for joining us so bright and early on this family day.
It is bright and early.
Mi Familia, now you've become part of this family, so you can add this to the rest of your dynamic and a wonderful network that you're building around you. We are all united in our love of music, and you're going to get to experience some of it like you never have before, right now in your living room. Don't move a muscle.
Spend your money wisely. Ungayi ngabantu. Do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money choices seriously? Join Nedbank today.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso. We're live here on S3 on a beautiful Monday morning. Thank you very much for choosing to start the week off on the right side. Now, the strength of your family, and that's what we're talking about today. The strength of your family really does depend on how you create those special moments together. And this morning on Family Day, we're taking a look at how we can do that and continue to cultivate that by talking to motivational speaker Ricardo Gressel, also known as Warrior Rick, one of our favorites here, about how the family unit can better come together every single day of the year. Warrior Rick, it's so good to see you in the flesh.
Tubby, so it is such a pleasure to be here. It's Family Day, and we're family.
And we're family.
We're family.
And we're getting to connect this way.
Absolutely.
How did you spend your Easter weekend?
Well, it's coming down to Cape Town. It's enjoying the Two Oceans race. So I got my 21 on, so I got my half marathon, personal best.
Oh, yeah?
Personal best.
Boom, baby, put it here. Yes, love to hear it.
My wife on her Ultra. Some wheels came off, but that woman, I do this because of her. So I'm just following her. So it was a wonderful 2 days of oceans and just being in the sea breeze. It was lovely. And now it's time to just kick our feet up. Kick our feet up and enjoy.
It is that time. And I think what you have been able to do between yourself and your wife is that you've been able to find those meaningful moments. You create them in different ways. Sometimes it's chilling by the beach, but other times you guys are really stretching yourselves on a physical level. Let's talk about how everybody else out there can really find those meaningful moments to create connection. How can families tap into that?
Well, I think you said it, Tabi. So when you think about meaning, we talk about moments, right? So moments are holidays, they're celebrations, and they can kind of hit you in the face. Oh, Dad's birthday's coming up, or we have this bar mitzvah coming up. But the point is you got to plan for these celebrations. You have to get your mind ready for them by actually putting a calendar together. So it's not just about moments, it's about the meaning in the moments. Correct.
Ooh,
so you have to go deep. You got to go deep and recognize why you do it. People, this is Easter weekend, but not everyone celebrates the religious holiday, but it's still a long weekend. And it's an opportunity for people to enjoy it. But find the meaning for you in it. As diverse as we are, find the special meaning for you in the moment.
Within the sort of traditional family unit and, environment, parents do often take on the responsibility of creating those meaningful family moments. And that's not to say that those are only exclusively left as a responsibility of the parent, but maybe let's give the parents, if they were watching right now and thinking, what can I do to really create some interesting moments today for the family? What are some of the ideas?
I think, look, if it's all about time, so you've got to manage time. So I like to put it into 3 unique areas. So there's the grind. We know about the grind. It's Monday to Friday. Typically, it's 9 to 5. The grind you have to do. And then there is the kind. The kind of the special moments that you do with your kids. Maybe it's storytelling. Maybe it's taking them to a movie, cinema, going for a walk in the park, take the dog with you. That's the kind. And then you get the mind. That's what I was telling you about.
The grind, the kind, and the mind.
And the mind. This is mine.
Oh, man.
So
I love it.
Right now, I'm in the mind time with my wife. So the kids are at home. This is our time. We plan for this. Now, you only get that 2, 3, if you're lucky, 4 times a year, the mind. But it's because of the grind. Because you got to afford the holiday. You got to be able to put the money together. But the kind says you're keeping the grind in check. So that kind is very critical because that time you spend with your kids, they'll always remember it.
Okay, so now that's the parents. Mom and dad are very important in creating the family's sort of kind and mind environment, as it were, right? And so that means that it starts with the relationship between the parents. How important really is that connection and the relationship between the 2 parents in making sure that it feeds down to the rest of the family?
It's critical, Tabi. So, I mean, I've tried to convince my wife that, like on the flights where the flight attendant says, if we're going down in the, unlikelihood of an emergency, put your mask on first. But moms have this thing of always just trying to help everybody else before they help themselves. So the relationship with the spouse or partner is so critical to make sure that you look after yourself first. If you look after yourself first, then guess what? The rest is easy. But put yourself first, then your spouse, and then your children. I'm still trying to get my wife to agree with me on that one, but we'll get there.
It's all about the grind, the kind, and the mind. And we're delving into that conversation with Warrior Rick here on your Feel Good Breakfast show, inspiring us all to really tap into that goodness of the family on Family Day. And he's still here, and more with him in just a bit.
I love that conversation so much, and more of that coming through in just a bit. But for us right now, it's almost back to reality, and that's tomorrow as the Easter weekend draws to a close. No! But what a weekend it has been, and the build up to it even better. But our supermoms, their task is coming up. They've been juggling and making Easter so much easier, and Easter juggling is an act on its own. But we're going to continue to assist all the moms out there with some cooking inspo, and we're cooking up a chicken poke bowl that has never been easier. You're going to show us how is a mom in the future in making in the future. And so we're in the house, of course. I know we both are gleaming for a family, so for both of us, this is good practice for the future, right?
You make me laugh. I'm a pet mom at the moment. You're a pet dad.
Yes, this is true. This
how's
is true.
that? You know?
But we are juggling. I mean, look, even if you take our jobs into account and the media space that we're working in, it's non-stop. It's go, go, go. So we're always looking for some convenient meals that also have the health box ticked.
Definitely.
And this is a meal for it, right?
Definitely. So I'm going to open up here our Simply Chicken nuggets, and this is easy. You can pop it into the air fryer. You can simply pop it into the oven like we're going to do. The cooking instructions is pretty straightforward. It is on this box, so you can simply just pop it onto our baking tray, baking sheet. I think there's a more graceful way to open it up.
Yes, but remember, we're on the hustle here. But remember the other thing about this, Simply Chicken is not just good in taste. Its products are made for real moms, and that's with real chicken. And Simply Chicken contains no pork and no added MSG. And it's a quick and easy way to prepare, and can also be air fried. So even healthier option right there at your fingertips. And like Zoe says, there are graceful ways to put this in, and there's also ways where you don't have time, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to ruin the taste. That's the beautiful part about it, right?
Not at all. And this is really a simple recipe. So I don't know about you, but I love bowl food. There's something about these giant bowls, and poke bowls is so much fun. So we've got our rice already pre-cooked, and it's in here, and now you get to have a lot of fun with some fresh ingredients. So I have got some cucumber that you just add it all into the little corner over there.
This is the finesse of a bowl, because you get the people that just like the taste, and then people that like the aesthetic. So when you're putting it together, it's quite important to present the meal, especially to your kids. Kids love the rainbow, they love colors, so eating the rainbow,
with their eyes.
Yeah, eating a rainbow is going to be that much better. So just like Zoe's right now, just kind of delicately arranging this meal so that you can see all the colors and see the life in this poke bowl, which I absolutely love. Well played.
I'm trying. And then, of course, we have our freshly baked Simply Chicken nuggets.
Quick question, those were just coming straight out of the oven, right? You didn't have to do anything to it after you popped it in the tray. Simply pop it in, put the heat on, and then straight out. I love that.
Straight out of the oven. And then we've got some pickled ginger just to add a little bit of freshness. Although, like, a lot of people also love their poke bowls with salmon.
Yes.
I think they're like raw salmon, but I think for kids, the chicken nuggets is
it's going to be like a best of both, especially when you've got the blend of the Western chicken coming through with that crispy outside, and then this sort of Asian Oriental fusion coming through with this as well. And I see you've got the mayo.
I have got the sushi mayo. That's always a winner. You can just add that there. And then naturally, we're going to finish it off with a little bit of an onion sprinkle.
Yum, that
and there you go.
Good.
This is your own little chicken poke bowl. Of course, play around with your fresh ingredients. I love cucumber. Pineapple for me is always a winner. But you can play around with some tomatoes, add
and even some
avo,
yeah?
I almost forgot about
Don't worry about the avo.
Let's
I can cut it up. We do have it here, so if you love avo, then this is a great fat to include in this meal. But just looking at it right now, good carbs, good fat, lots of color, and of course the protein coming through from the chicken, and that is real chicken, so you know you're getting the good stuff. And voila, just like that, we're done.
We are done.
Nice,
we are done, Raul. And I know, you mentioned earlier, we are quite busy. We are quite, trying to find ways to make life easy. And I think when it comes to meal prepping, meal planning, a friend of mine I messaged her now. I'm like, happy family day. How's it going? She's like, I just finished my grocery shopping online. And those are small things that moms do. And I think anyone that is very busy to make life a little bit simpler.
So true. And this is exactly what's going to help you out, especially when you're using Simply Chicken. It just adds to the convenience. So reality is almost back in full swing, but at least moms now have meals covered. We got that box ticked, and you can get your hands on this delicious recipe by visiting expressoshow.com. And for more quick and easy recipes, you can follow at Simply Chicken ZA on Instagram. There's so much inspiration there, especially for the entire week. And with it being a new week, this means a new chance at winning the air fryer every week with Simply Chicken. So to be this week's lucky winner, what do you got to do? Simply reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram page and tell us your Easter holiday. Now, you got to use that hashtag #RealMomStories. And of course, you're not only standing a chance to win an air fryer, but also a chance to tell your story on Expresso and automatically be entered into the draw for the grand cash prize of 10,000 Rand. Yes, we all need the moolah. So don't forget to include the hashtag #RealMom in your answer. And the competition closes at midday on Friday, the 22nd of April. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. And from us, the potential parent moms, showing you how easy things are, I must say, well done.
You're
well
a parent
done.
mom.
A parent mom. I meant an animal parent. A parent mom.
Join Expresso this autumn for a chance to win one of 6 Plascon vouchers, each to the value of 5,000 Rand. With nature's own forests, fields and beaches inspiring Plascon's new color combinations, tell us how you would color your life. Answer our weekly social media question and find the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. So, color your life with 5,000 Rand Plascon paint vouchers to be won this autumn on Expresso.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. We're continuing our conversation this morning with motivational speaker Ricardo Gressel, otherwise known as Warrior Rick, about the importance of creating special moments with your family. It's the grind, it's the kind, it's the mind. It's not just Family Day that connects everyone. Those moments do come through in many other ways. And you know a lot about families because you were just telling me now, at your big age, which I won't mention on here.
You can mention it, I don't mind.
You're 57 years old.
57 years old, yeah.
You have 4 children.
Yeah.
2 grandchildren.
2 grandchildren. And we've raised 12 children from babies. We have 40 to 3 years old and everything in between.
And you were saying now that you live with your family. So like your 4 children and your grandchildren, you all live together. It really is like keeping up with the Kardashians. in the sense that you are all under one roof, or the moon summies. So you know a lot about creating those moments.
Sure.
Using dinner time or meal time for that, as an example. How can we use those moments like dinner time, where everyone's sitting around the table or has the opportunity to sit around the table to create those moments?
Well, who's sitting around the table, these days, Tabi? So even interior decorators know the dining room isn't the place to bring the family together. So now it's really about, doing away with the TV trays and the dining rooms and start thinking about spaces where you can engage. And we talked about in the first segment about getting out, going to the park.
Yeah.
The best meetings happen where it's not necessarily around food. So food is a wonderful way to bring us together. But you can't talk with food in your mouth.
No, you can't.
So you got to get out there and be free and open. Some of the best conversations happen when you're caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
You're caught up in something exciting and whatever, and then you get to hear the truth, which is lovely, especially from children, because they can say the darndest things, but especially when they're in their element.
But it's honest when it comes to it in that way. Family traditions play such a big role in connecting families and family members. We all look forward to those. I mean, if you think about Easter, for example, which we've just come from, everyone pre-Easter was talking about and looking forward to how they're going to be spending their Easter lunch, because that's a tradition for their families, maybe. How important are those in cultivating that space? And what are some of the ideas, maybe, where parents who don't know how to do this can already start looking to for creating those opportunities for themselves?
Well, we know with culture that it's about food, it's about music, it's about dance, and we need to celebrate that in our own unique way. Every family is unique. But I think it's about not being shy about it, but just really being, you talked about the Munsamis versus the Kardashians, right?
Yes.
So two very different families. They celebrate this time very differently. But to be able to welcome that diversity and value it, invite friends, invite neighbors over to show how you do it. Your children then get to see that we're unique.
We're doing it differently.
We're doing differently.
And they're doing their own thing, and it's fine, it's perfect.
Absolutely. But celebrate the moments like we talked about in your unique way, with food, with music, with dance, and have a good time. Laugh about it. And laugh at yourself. Why not? Because you know what? There's always the drunk uncle or the person that slips up and you've got these photo albums to show. It's an experience. Have that experience and share it with each other.
We don't forget that, because I know that for my family, dancing is a big part of it. Dancing and singing. I mean, any family gathering, we will find an opportunity to do that. It's funny that we are able to laugh at ourselves, because I'm always the dance choreographer. And anyone who knows me and watches me on the show knows I know nothing about dancing or singing, but that doesn't stop me from doing it, right?
Absolutely.
But we all come together and look forward to that, and we do it. You, before I let you go, Mr. Warrior Rick, have been working so hard on this very personal project of yours, which is all about creating and highlighting family dynamics. You created the pilot. It's done. Tell us all about it.
So excited. It's called 24-Hour Rick, and it's like Mission Impossible, right? So every family has got crazy dynamics. There's lots of issues, challenges around finances, around all different types of things. So I get my brief as I enter the home to try to solve the problem.
Like that nanny show where the nanny would get called to come help the family with...
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. And so I go in and find out what the issue is, speak to the children, speak to the parents, speak to the auntie, and come up with a solution by staying overnight at the house. So I get to socialize, sing, dance, and party with them. And then once we get to the morning breakfast time, I come with the resolution. So it's conflict resolution with Warrior Rick. It's called 24-Hour Rick. So.
24-Hour Rick. Check it out. Please do follow Warrior Rick on all of his social media platforms. What a guy. What a legend. And we really do enjoy having these conversations with you. And thank you very much for inspiring our families this morning on how we can do Family Day and do family better and more exciting. Put it here, man.
Thanks, Tabi. So
Rick, boom, baby. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for them to come out with a pocket-sized Rick that you can just pop into your pocket and you can keep Rick with you all day. Now, time to hone in on our performer this morning. And if you've never heard the music of Derek Gripper before, put on your seatbelt and get ready to be blown away. The sound checks have been insane. He's an accomplished, award-winning, in fact, guitarist of many influences, as we found out with our chat earlier. But right now, he is ready to perform an original work titled Seeing Nobody. Take it away, Q. transportative, is that a word? Transformative?
Not a word.
Trance-inducing. You have a gift, my friend, that was beautiful, absolutely majestic, and just the perfect energy for today. Hopefully that elevated your family day just a little bit. Don't move a muscle. Derek is not going anywhere. 2 more performances coming your way. We'll see you in a sec. Wow.
We are back with the best of the best in the All-Star Season 10 of Tropika Island of Treasure. And we're going big! Just tell us why you should be chosen to compete with one of these All-Star celebs and stand a chance to win a smooth 1 million rand. WhatsApp your audition video or upload it on our socials at MyTropika for your chance to get a spot on the island. So buy a Tropika today, and this could be you. CPAC for details. Tropika, nothing smoother.
What's beta-glucan? Hello, do you know what beta-glucan is? What is beta-glucan? No one knows what beta-glucan is.
Beta-glucan is a natural fiber in jungle oats that helps lower cholesterol and keep hearts well.
Jungle, do life with heart.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso indeed on S3. Happy Family Day. So if you are watching from your couch, we are jealous, but we are here to entertain you. Now, when it comes to many girls' dreams of being, part of a beauty pageant, I was one of them. It's more than just being surrounded by all the glitz, the glamour, the fanfare, and the finery. There's also a lot to come from these beauty pageants, but there's so much more to just wearing that sash and crown. And today we have the honor of sitting down with a very special young lady who embodies all of the qualities of such a winner. Now, I'm talking about Miss Teen Universe South Africa 2022, representing the Western Cape, Sisethu Dayeli. She's here on Expresso. How gorgeous is she? Can we give her a warm Expresso welcome? Sisethu, I can't believe you're only 13 years old. Does this all feel real, that you're wearing the crown and the sash?
No, it doesn't actually feel real because I just feel all the dedication, all the hard work has just paid off. And I'm just the first Miss Teen Universe, the youngest Miss Teen Universe to be holding the Western Cape title.
Okay. Is there some kind of pressure that comes with it? Because talk to us, how did you come about entering and being one of the first and youngest Miss Teen Universe South Africa?
Being a student at Glamour Model Academy, I was quite fortunate to receive information from my coach about the pageant. My coach giving me information about the pageant, it was her telling me that she has groomed me enough, and she feels confident that I can go enter a national pageant. Fast forward, I sent through my videos for the online editions. A week later, I was selected as a semi-finalist for the Miss Teen Universe South Africa pageant. So when you were selected as a semi-finalist, you were required to do a lot of tasks. So it was up to you how you'll be planning your journey and what type of tasks you'll be doing on a certain day or a month. A couple of months went by, I was selected as a finalist. So when you were selected as a finalist, it literally meant that you were through to the finals, and they were going to do the chop-offs on the day.
Ooh.
So on that day, it was top 20, top 12, and top 8. So I successfully reached to the top 8, and on the 13th of March 2022, I was selected. Actually, I was crowned Miss Teen Universe South Africa 2022 Western Cape Queen.
Oh, Sisethu, you are beautiful, you're eloquent. This was hard work. You got the crown, you got the sash. You've made some great friends in the process. Now, I know that this is more than just looks. This is more than just, you know, wearing that crown on your head proudly. There's quite a few responsibilities, and it sounded like you had quite a few tasks to do. What are your responsibilities and your role as Miss Teen Universe South Africa?
My role as a Miss Teen Universe South Africa 2022 Queen is to empower young children and teenagers about disability awareness, as I'm an advocate for disabled people. And my role is to uphold my duties as a Western Cape Queen title holder and use this platform to help or lend my hand where help is needed.
Oh, well, listen, you are got such a bright future ahead of you. It's beautiful to see the ambition that you have. And how do you find juggling all of that, including what you have to do, because you're 13, you're in school at the moment? How do you find that balance?
Okay, so during school week, I play netball and athletics, and during like my extramurals, I love modeling and spending time with my family and friends, because mostly people think that as I'm a model, I'm all fancy and everything, but I'm also a normal person. I do spend time with my family and friends. I also have a normal life, but there's times where my life and I'm unable to juggle everything. So I just set out a timetable and tell myself what type of charity works that I'll be doing on a certain day and what assignments do I need to submit.
She's a planner. See? Getting life advice from her, it's all about planning. Now, the big question is, do you want to do Miss South Africa one day, Miss Universe, Miss World? Is that in your pipeline, your plans?
Yes, but firstly, I would like to finish off my studies. Secondly, yes, I would like to finish, to enter Miss South Africa, Miss World, Miss Universe in the future, because the pageants that I'm entering are a step forward to the milestone or the journey that I'll be encountering.
Oh, Sisethu, you are beautiful, you're bright, you have a light within you that is just shining through. Now, you have a national platform right now. Do you want to maybe just say anything into that camera over there for girls looking at you and want to be in your position one day?
To anyone that wants to enter any pageant, don't limit yourself. The sky's the limit, and don't forget that any dream is not too small or too big. And I would love to give a shout out to my mother, my squad, my pageant coach, and to anyone that wants to enter Miss Teen Universe South Africa. The dates are out on their social media platforms. You can go check them out on Miss Teen Universe South Africa on Instagram and on Facebook.
She is a natural, ladies and gentlemen, our reigning Miss Teen Universe South Africa, Sasetu Dayeli. Please remember that name, a bright future ahead, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, there we go. Do go and check them out on social media, and if you want to enter yourself, all of the dates are available and how to enter.
Hey, I think we might have met the next member of our team. Actually.
I know.
I just have a feeling, man.
Honestly, I mean, listen to that. And she's got the inspiration that we all need on a day like this, making those dreams materialize. She's going to go far, G.
I like it. No dream is too big or too small. I absolutely love it. So we were living the dream this weekend, of course, being Easter, all about connecting with family. And we've been getting so nostalgic over the last couple of weeks because it always reminds you of all the cool things that you did when you were a child. And I suppose for me, it's all about that. It's about kind of how can I find a way of tapping into those beautiful traditions with my own kids. But we put it to you guys to hone in on your Easter traditions and what you've been enjoying and what family traditions you've been able to keep alive. So let's see what the people had to say.
Yes, Mzansi's coming through with some good stuff. Farida Isaac says, good morning, Expresso team. Good morning, Farida. Now, my mom used to make us something sweet with our supper every night, so I do the same. And that's why my grandson knows when he visits, he'll always get his favorite cupcakes, chocolate cake, and warm pies on Eid morning when men come from mosque.
I love that.
Yes.
Gotta feed the masses. Gotta feed the masses. I love that. Quena Jack's just wishing us a good morning, saying happy family day. Right back at you, Quena. I hope you're having an awesome day. Wahida Ali saying, good morning, guys. I've carried with me from my childhood to my own family is to always be kind and generous.
Nice.
I love
we could all do that, yeah?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a materialistically driven thing. It can just be the spirit of.
Be kind and be lekker. I absolutely love that, Mzansi. Keep coming through with these comments. We absolutely love seeing your traditions, and maybe it gives us an idea or sparks some interest in us, especially being Family Day, and we are all about the family traditions, the memories, and everything else that comes with it. Of course, we're making more memories on the show right now, so don't go anywhere because the magic will continue.
Telkom unlimits your world for less. Level up your gaming and find more reasons to share every moment with more data to use your way. Get 20 megabits per second unlimited data for only 599 Rand per month. Do more on your terms and live your Munati with no limits. Call 10213, click telkom.co.za or go to any Telkom shop. Fair usage policy and T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso. We're live here on S3. It's a Monday morning family day. Thank you very much for joining us and starting the day off with us. Now, Derek Grip, of course, is a mesmerizing performer who has produced some of Mzansi's most extraordinary musical works by fusing the country's, disparate creative traditions with styles throughout the world, and he's been able to do that so beautifully. We're glad to have him in studio. This time around, he's here to perform Duga Baseko Batoro Kuyate. Yes, take it away, Derek. The perfect tunes really to set you up as you kick back and relax on this beautiful family day here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Derek, thank you so much. What a musical experience of note. And you can connect with us on our Facebook, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Use that hashtag Expresso Show. Let us know what you thought of this and what sort of feelings and emotions it's sort of bringing your way. We'd love to hear from you. Right now, though, it's the top of the hour. Time for us to find out what's happening in and around our world. Zoe Brown is on standby with a look at the news.
Thank you, Tabiso. I'll start off with national headlines. The Department of Social Development says some 330 social service professionals have been deployed in all of the affected areas of flood-stricken KwaZulu-Natal to assist affected residents to obtain new identity documents, birth certificates, etc. Now, at the same time, the SA Social Services Agency, SASSA, has increased its relief grant for KZN flood victims from 700 Rand to 1,960 Rand for disaster cases where there has been a loss of all belongings. And where there has been loss of life, this amount will be doubled to the family being assisted. And staying with local news, a policewoman and a police dog, which had tried to save her, died yesterday during a flood search and rescue operation. Sergeant Busisiwe Mdwara, 42, was a police diver in the Pietermaritzburg Search and Rescue Unit. The police said she was conducting a search at around 11:30 a.m. at Henley Dam for 3 victims that had drowned earlier in the week when she got into difficulty and drowned. A dog named Leah from the Durban Central Search and Rescue Unit, which had attempted to assist the sergeant, also drowned. Now, moving to news abroad, the Archbishop of Canterbury has condemned a British plan to send tens of thousands of asylum seekers to the East African country of Rwanda, saying the policy did not stand, and I quote, the judgment of God. Now, delivering a sermon on Easter Sunday at Canterbury Cathedral, Justin Welby said the strategy announced last week by British Prime Minister Boris Johnson posed serious ethical questions. Anyone who arrives in Britain illegally since January could be relocated to Rwanda under the deal. It also drew immediate and heavy criticism from politicians and charities. And staying with news abroad, Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal has said defenders of the besieged port of Mariupol will fight till the end against Russian forces. He said the city had not yet fallen despite a Russian ultimatum to remaining Ukrainian fighters to give up. Russia's earlier claim that its troops had cleared the urban area of Mariupol, scene of the war's heaviest fighting and worst humanitarian catastrophe, could not be independently verified. It also is the first major city to have fallen to Russian forces since the February 24th invasion. And charity groups are rallying to assist victims of the recent KwaZulu-Natal floods. To date, 14 tons of food parcels, water and other necessities have been distributed in flood-affected areas by the civil society group We Are South Africans, with another 20 tons to be distributed soon. Now, the group has partnered with several other civic and faith-based organizations to distribute public donations. Now, We Are South Africans said in a statement on Saturday, and I quote, "We have joined forces with organizations from far and wide. There are drop-off points in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. These are available at www.peopleofsouthafrica.com/drop-off, and we urge the public to please donate clothes, non-perishable food, mattresses, blankets, clothes, buckets, baby food, pet food, nappies, as well as sanitary pads and other toiletries, if possible, before this Thursday at 5 p.m. Now, relief efforts have also received a 30 million rand injection from the Motsepe Foundation, a charity set up by South African billionaire Patrice Motsepe. Moreover, Gift of the Givers founder Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman has confirmed donations from a broad spectrum of social media platforms, corporates and individuals. Suleiman said they'd received calls to support from embassies and international organizations, and it's beautiful to see the community get together to help those in need. Well, that's where I leave your morning headlines. Here is a final look at your weather with Ryle.
Thanks so much, Zoe. Yes, a final look at the weather right now, and again reporting on the disaster taking place in KZN. But on that note, it's absolutely incredible to see how Mzansi is banding together to support everything that is happening in the area. But for now, reporting on the death toll from the floods that have battered South Africa's east coast has risen to 443 yesterday. Now, this toll was confirmed by Sihle Zikalala, who is the premier of the KZN, and added that 63 other people were still unaccounted for. Now, the floodwaters had engulfed parts of the southeastern coastal city of Durban and surrounding areas, ripping up roads, causing mudslides and sweeping away homes. Now, the city of some 3.5 million was overcast yesterday, and national forecaster with the SA Weather Service, Puseletso Mofokeng, said, and quoted, "The rainfall is going to clear completely as we move to Wednesday," unquote. But humanitarian relief continued in the city, of which the beaches and warm Indian Ocean waters would normally have been teeming with with Easter holiday makers. Now, Christians also congregated at churches to pray for those affected by the floods yesterday on Easter Sunday. Now, some 40,000 people have been left homeless by these raging flood waters. Now, from us and the rest of the team out here in Expresso, and I'm sure for the rest of Mzansi too, our thoughts and prayers are definitely with all those affected during this incredibly challenging time. And we continue to commend the absolute great work that volunteers and organizations are doing to assist those in need. Well, next up, we're moving from our weather news all the way to the beautiful sunrise views shared by you, our viewers, on the Expresso Facebook page. Now, Eddie Pitt Rems from Tsanin shared this wonderful shot looking towards the silhouetted hills in his area just as the sun peaks up brightly and boldly as the day begins. And next up, regular contributor and a family member of ours, Ntokozo Theo Makatini from Johannesburg, capturing yet another absolutely magnificent shot showing off the moodiness of the sky filled with many hues of blue amongst the cloud cover. Looks like a pastel painting from Van Gogh himself. 7 a.m., Vincent Lutuli from Durban sharing this moody silhouetted shot showing the sun trying to break through the cloud cover and provide a bit of relief from the recent downpours. And again, those shades of orange and yellow just lighting up the sky. How beautiful indeed. Last but not least, Gary Orkamp, our family member from East London, beachfront, capturing this stunning shot overlooking the ocean, showing off a similarly overcast skyline. The waves are cooking out there, brother. I see you. I see you. Mzansi, thank you so much, because I see you and I see the effort you put into these pictures. Pure quality, and it brings such a beautiful smile on our dial, and thank you so much for that. Now, one last chance and opportunity for us to take a look at the country's temperatures. And starting off in Polokwane, the day starting at 11, moving up to 19 with some rain coming through. Umbombela, the thunder showers continue 16, moving up to 18. Pretoria, the rain continues 11, all the way up to 21 is your high. And then in Johannesburg, the thunder showers continue. Starting off your day on 9, moving up to 18 degrees. Over in Mahikeng now, the day starting at 9, moving up to 22 with a little bit of rain only coming through. Klerksdorp sees the day starting at 8, moving up to 21 with some rainfall. Kimberley 9, moving up to 22 with a little bit of rain. And Bloemfontein much the same. 5 is your low though, with a high of only 21 degrees Celsius. Moving over to Richards Bay, however, it looks very wet on your side of the world. 16 moving up to 20 degrees with thunder showers. Pietermaritzburg much the same with the rain. 11 moving up to 20 degrees. And Durban, the thunder showers continue. 17 moving up to 23. And Mthatha following suit with the rain. 10 is your low, moving up to 21 degrees Celsius. Over in East London, where the rain is always welcome, and let's hope we can dance in it. 15 is your low, moving up to 23 degrees. In Cradock, the day starts at 8, moving up to 22 with a moderate amount of rainfall. Mabega sees the day starting at 13, moving up to 21 with a good amount of rain coming through. And George starting the day at 12, moving up to 20 with potentially just a light drizzle. Over in Cape Town, however, it's sunny skies all the way around. 12 is your low, moving up to 23 degrees. Over in Worcester, the day starting at 13, moving up to 30. Sutherland, normally a chilly start, starting at 8, moving up to 23, but no rain can be expected. And Uppington seems to be the best temperatures of the day. 12 moving up to 29 degrees with no rain whatsoever. Thank you again, Mzansi, for sending those incredible pictures in. Let's catch up with the team and see what else we can expect.
Oh, well, we still have a whole hour to enjoy with you on this family day. And speaking of family day, on Mondays we love talking relationships, and that's exactly what we're going to do around family dynamics.
Yep, and then we're going to climb that family tree. Ryle and I, just before that, are going to get into genealogy. Maybe that's something that's inspired you this family day. You want to see where you come from, find out who makes up the person that you are today. We'll delve into that conversation in just a moment. Welcome back, you beautiful souls, to our family. And you're part of our extended family. As we celebrate Family Day today, we take some time to think about our genealogy and where exactly we come from. Really interesting. And to do that, we're connecting with the owner of Still Life Genealogy, Jade Rossiter, to take us through the genealogical process and to tell us why it's so important for us to know our family history. Can't wait. Good morning, Jade.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. Thanks for you.
Oh, we are all good. It's Family Day. We're celebrating here. And I think for both G and I, very excited to find out more about this. But let's get straight into it. Obviously, from Mzansi that doesn't know anything, what exactly is genealogy all about? And what do genealogists actually do, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I hope?
Well, genealogy is the study of family histories. And a genealogist is then the person who actually does the research.
Ah, okay.
I would imagine this must be so interesting. You've been doing this for the last decade or so. What inspired you to start an actual business to help people find out more about their family history, to climb that family tree?
Well, I think the more and more interested I got in into the subject, that's all I would talk about to everybody. So it became quite annoying, but realizing that most people were interested but didn't know where to start, or they, they didn't have the time, because it's a very, very time-consuming hobby.
Now, with the time being said, I mean, obviously, we're speaking about time, we're trying to draw back to time, but at the same time, you always hear these crazy stories in families of like, yo, my great-great-grand-uncle or great-grand did this and that, and, they feel like rumors, but sometimes there's maybe truth in this. Is there any way of maybe using this rumor to kind of start your own process when it comes to finding out about your family, and what are those steps in terms of, okay, I want to find out how far I can go in my family tree. Do I take this rumor? Is there a practical approach? Maybe you can guide us on this, because I know a lot of Mzansi is going to be listening and thinking, hey, I wonder actually, and I want to do something about this.
Yeah, well, sometimes all you need is a rumor. Like, for example, your great-great-grandmother might think her parents were born in Scotland, and then without knowing, without having any evidence, you can still take that information. It gives you somewhere to start. And yeah, obviously other information that would help would be, having dates of birth and places of birth and, general vital information. All that kind of stuff will obviously help much more.
I love that. It's like super sleuth kind of stuff. So I would imagine it must be a very satisfying process to go through, crunching all of that data. I've got to ask, on the flip side of that coin, why do you think this is so important? What do we get out of finding out more about where we come from? In your experience, what are the people that you've helped go on this journey taken away from this process?
Well, I think what's important, I think the reason why it's important to me is feeling a part of something, feeling like, you are the result of generations of love and generations of struggles and generations of people overcoming those struggles, and just knowing that that is what you stand on, that's your, where you come from, that's awe-inspiring.
I love that. That's your tribe. I've got to ask you something, because presumably you've done a lot of digging in your own family.
Yeah.
Do you have any really cool past relatives that are worth talking about on national TV? What was the most interesting revelations that you found out in your own journey?
Well, one of my most favorite ancestors, while I was working on my mom's maternal line, I was very excited to be able to trace her Afrikaans grandmother back to the French Huguenots, and then further than that, I found out that my 11 times maternal great-grandmother was a woman named Ansela van der Kaap. So she was apparently actually a slave, born at Cape Town Castle, and then she worked there for, probably most of her life, until she fell in love with one of the German guards, Lawrence Kamfer. He was then granted land by the governor at the time, but he continued to visit Ansela until they eventually gained her freedom in about 1699, and they were finally allowed to marry, and they actually planted a tree on the farm Stellenbosch, and the tree is still standing to this day. So that's a piece of history that...
No ways, that is incredible.
A tree born of love. You're a love story. Your family tree is like one of the most amazing love stories ever. That is beautiful. You've told me exactly what I needed to hear today. That is so, so awesome. I think I get it now. I understand why we need to know where you've come from. Just imagine how many awesome stories like that.
Incredible stuff.
Oh, Jay, thank you so much.
Look, Mzansi, from learning about our family tree to finding the importance of family time with our relationship expert, we are going to be continuing with some more of this. Check it out.
Well, it is Family Day and also very appropriate for this time of the afternoon, in fact morning, when we talk relationships, to put the spotlight on family. Because it's Monday, we are talking relationships, and the Easter long weekend, we are still in it, and hopefully you are enjoying today being Family Day. And while some people may, you know, roll their eyes at the thought of going back home or even spending time with family, many of us can acknowledge that family time, it really gives us the warm, fuzzy feelings. And as it turns out, there are proven health and wellness benefits that goes along with that feeling. Now let's head on over to the streets to find out what family means to you.
On Family Day, we do lots of park runs, park walks, taking my daughter for ice cream, hanging out with my nephew, watching TikToks, doing TikToks.
Yeah, Family Day for us is usually a day at the park, ice cream for the little one, and then maybe mommy and daddy might have their little birth, 1 or 2 nyana, but otherwise, nothing too fancy. The simpler, the better.
What we're going to be doing on the day, I'm assuming we're just, going to be together and going to be having some food, which is generally the way to go. So some food and some drinks and some good times.
So Family Day is just time spent with everyone in our family.
On Family Day, it's usually a braai. I mean, I'm South African, obviously. That's what it's all about, right?
Oh, it's all about spending time together, and here to help us unpack all of that familiar bond is clinical psychologist Slindile Mbata. Now, Slee, it's so good to have you back on the show.
Hi, Zoe. It's so good to be back.
Excuse me, and we're talking all things family. Now, for some people, family time gives you the warm, fuzzy feelings. For others, they dread it. But let's put the spotlight on the positive first. How important is family time?
Family time is so important. Our families, it's where we first get our real sense of belonging in the world, is with our family. So it's really, really crucial to be able to spend time together. And I think it's really where we first start to feel a sense of feeling valued and loved.
Sorry. Now, sorry. So when it comes to children, they love structure. They crave that family time. And given that today is, sorry, I'm just coughing here, but given that today is all about being with family, how important is it for the family to spend that time together?
I would say it's really, really important, to spend time together. And what I do want to emphasize is the quality of the time that's spent together, not just the quantity of time that is spent. So spending time together, doing things where we're actually bonding and building those emotional bonds is absolutely crucial. So I think for any family, that is not time to, take for granted. It's also where we get our first memories of family, and that's the kind of thing that we take with us, well into our lives. Everybody can remember what used to happen when they were a kid, and so it's really crucial to have that time together.
And also spending that time together, it helps you to create good habits. What are some of the habits people, take into life with them?
So I think, there's a lot of crucial life skills that we actually learn from spending time with family. if you think about it, some of our problem-solving skills come from there. You know, if you think about some of the conflicts that one can have when you're sitting across the table, kids wanting to, you know, grab certain spoons, who wants to sit next to mommy and daddy. So it's really critical for developing those problem-solving skills. Communication skills as well. When we sit around the table and we talk, listening skills, knowing that, you know, everybody's time is valuable, they're valued, they get listened to. So I think there's a lot of life skills that are really critical that one can take forward.
Well, we are continuing our family chat. Don't go anywhere. We have more coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso. We're live here on S3 and we're talking relationships as we do on a Monday morning. We're talking holidays. We know that they are full of parties, family gatherings, quality time with the people that you care about. But those interactions are not always devoid of drama. Sometimes they can be filled with drama. Every family goes through conflict from time to time. But that doesn't mean that it has to ruin the holidays for you. And now clinical psychologist Lindile Mbata is back to help us deal with our family tension that we might experience over the holidays. Be sure to let us know your thoughts and your experiences on today's topic on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Lindile, what are some of the ways in which people can help themselves mentally prepare for that one auntie or uncle or person that's a relative that's going to potentially ruin your holiday and rub you up the wrong way? Ozokufakela isifuthufu.
Ozokuphazamise emoyeni. Yes, yeah. You know, Ntabiso, I wonder if you can actually really prepare enough for those, you know, those type of people. Yeah. I think realistically it can be very, very difficult to prepare yourself emotionally. But I think it's so important to try and focus on the things that you can control. Yeah. You know, and that's your thoughts about the situation and your expectations. So really focusing on what it is that you have control over. Going in there, I think, with a mindset that says, not to say, oh, this is going to be a terrible time because Usman Bane is there. But rather to say, you know what, in spite of this person's presence, I'm going to make sure I maximize on my time with the family.
And we can maybe even delve into some of the very typical examples of how people get rubbed up the wrong way when they go into these family gatherings. I mean, I can think of a few of those where they ask, okay, come on, you are 30 whatever years old now, and come on, your biological clock, we can almost hear it from here. It's ticking so loud. When are you having children? When are you getting married? Those are some of the ways. But what are some of the other common things that come through and people either are ill-prepared for or just can't prepare enough?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you'll be asked, you know, when are you going to get a home? You'll be asked questions about your career. And if you also, I mean, this is a very common thing with university students, you know, when are you going to finish studying? Or if you do have a partner, when are you and your partner just going to make this thing official?
Oh, wow, okay. All right, so sometimes, obviously, people then walk into these environments with their partners, or with their, you know, their spouse. So where you take your wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend to a family environment like that. You might prepare yourself for it, but it's hard to prepare the next person to have to cope with your own family's shortcomings, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
How must you do that? How do you prepare the next person, your significant other, for those experiences?
Yeah, I think trying to communicate very, very clearly about what to expect. If you know there are certain family members who can be troublesome, rather be honest about it and say, listen, you know, I know we're going to see my family today. I just need to make sure you are prepared for this. So rather have them knowing what to expect and sort of go in and see for themselves. So I think the crucial thing really is going to be the communication between you two. And even if you have tips as well about how to handle that person, how you've handled them in the past, that can be really helpful.
So communication between the two partners, for example, does help, because sometimes you find that you are taking Mtana Bantu into a den of dragons that they may have never experienced before, and maybe just simply are not prepared to have to go through. Arguments. Let's talk about arguments, because arguments can then ensue in these family gatherings. What is the best way to deal with disagreements and arguments in that space without completely killing the entire family gathering?
Yeah, I think, I mean, of course, the best thing that you want to do is try and be as respectful as possible in those interactions. But Tabiso, I think there are going to be times when you really cannot handle the situation or you feel incredibly overwhelmed. And in those moments, I would say, you know, rather find a way to take a time out rather than engage more. And
arguing.
Yes, and really escalate the situation. So if you can just ask for 5 minutes and excuse yourself from the situation, do that. You don't have to storm off, you know, although you can't help it in some situations. But where you can take a break, give yourself that time out, go and breathe and come back and deal with the situation. But otherwise, you know, you can try and be curious if you can, if you're calm enough, and really say, you know, that's a really interesting point of view. I haven't thought about things in that way. Help me understand how you've got to think that way. So if you can handle it calmly, engage. But if you can't, take a breather.
Yo, Slindile, this is really fantastic, and I'm glad that we have this conversation with you happening on Mondays. Of course, we do know that the best way to deal with it is to really fix it from its core and its root, but we'll be chatting about some more of that in part 3 of our conversation with our clinical psychologist, Slindile Mbata, here on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
Thank you, fam. Let's continue with our Family Day celebrations. Yes, we know Easter weekend is behind us, but that doesn't mean the festivities are coming to a close. Oven ready, baby. We love a good chicken braai. And this one built around a couple of chicken flatties that are smelling just ridiculously delicious. And a fully loaded cornbread has all the makings of a proper get your hands dirty, roll up your sleeves kind of a feast. It's the perfect Easter braai menu. Wow, people are out there going, I can't eat anymore. Well, we're going to say, yes, you can.
Yes,
you can.
You've got to treat the Easter long weekend like a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Ultra. It's an ultra.
It's an ultra. How appropriate. So you got to literally take your time.
But you've got the family to help bear the load today, which is why we are creating something that is a pull apart, get your fingers stuck in, lick your fingers kind of a feast. These flatties, the flavor that they're able to cram into these guys is ridiculous.
How?
how do they do it? Do they have a big flavor gun? It's a giant flavor syringe that comes down over the flatty and goes... How do they do it, man?
I would have spent like a second in your brain because I'm like, what? Yes, that's exactly how they do it.
Giant balloon of flavor that they wait to float it over and they burst it. I mean, just look at the state of that.
This is so beautiful. This is the peri-peri flatty. I mean, it's so delicious.
Must be peri, man.
Amazing. And then
I'm a traditionalist in that sense. If you're going to go flatty chicken, make it peri, man.
Okay, how appropriate. Then we opened up the peri-peri one. Here we go. And we've also got the citrus and herb. Ooh. This is a newer one that's like it's the later addition to the family.
Yeah, nice and fragrant.
So delicious.
Beautiful.
So what I'm going to do is let's just get this. I was actually going to add the veggies, but you know what? I just want to smell this on the grill. Obviously, I know you're going to do this on the braai, but if you don't have a braai, it works beautifully in a griddle pan.
A griddle pan is perfect.
In the oven.
And I suppose it's the same sort of principle. You're sealing in the flavors, caramelizing those fats and the skins, and then you put it in the braai to render everything.
Yeah.
I mean, put it in the oven to render it through.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
When you do put it down on the griddle pan, you want to hear that. You want to hear the crowds cheer, and that's it. But then you can turn the heat up a little bit. Because chicken is quite dense, so you don't need a very high heat. A nice medium heat is good.
For
let us
longer.
do this thing.
And how long would you do this part of the process before popping it in the oven?
So what I would do is get a bit of color on it, turn it over. So let's just say 5 minutes aside, just to get that nice color. Well, actually, once you turn it over after the 5 minutes into the oven, and it'll be about 30 minutes. Yeah. Also very important, take your chicken out the fridge about 45 minutes to an hour before you cook with it. Okay, you want it to come as close to room temperature as possible.
Let all those fibers, tendons relax.
Relax. Exactly.
Man.
So I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
You said you love cornbread.
I adore cornbread.
So I'm going to ask you to make the cornbread. You've got the cornbread mix from Woolies. I've already melted your butter. I say I did. Someone else did.
Thank you.
But
to our amazing
super
team.
simple. Eggs. So a little bit of cheese goes in there, and of course you got to add your cream-style corn. It's such a South African thing, right? Cream-style corn.
Do I just throw it in? Yeah,
throw it in.
This kind of sweet corn is South Africa. Tell me you're South African without telling me you're South African.
Got some herbs going on there. It's going to be delicious.
And see, this has got a bit of red pepper in there as well, which is great. But we are doing something else here. We are loading this guy. What are we loading it with?
So, I was going to grill some of these veggies. What I did was I got the Woolies roasting bag of all those roasting veggies. What I took the butternut out because that takes a little longer to cook. And I popped that in the microwave just to soften it. The other veggies, a little bit of olive oil goes on them. And you want to pop them on the braai. On a skewer, on the braai. Get some nice color on them. So it'll also take in all that smoke. Which
I'm using all of the sweet corn,
all of it. So get those veggies nice and charred. I've got them nice and charred over here for you. What we're going to do is, you're going to mix everything together. Pour it into your baking dish, and we're going to add the veggies. Moms, dads, this is a great way to get your kids eating their veggies. Corn and cheese, kids love it.
Yeah.
And Graham loves it. So this is a good way. Just add the veggies in there, and they won't know any better.
And this is great because it's nice and tactile. My kids are loving kind of getting stuck in, especially my 2-year-old. Georgie loves to get her hands stuck in, and she's not shy of eating healthy food, but it's got to come in the right format.
Right.
And for her to be able to break this bread and get stuck in, I love that. Grab herself a chicken thigh. She's going to love it, man. Yeah, it sounds like I have a caveman child, but she's learning the joy of eating. And what I like about this, there is, I was joking about breaking bread, but there is something really communal and social about this kind of meal. And I would just you have a little plate, you have this in the middle, and people just grab what you like, man.
I like what you said, the whole thing about breaking bread. In some cultures, they frown upon cutting bread.
Yeah.
It always has to be torn and broken. I think it's amazing how throughout whatever culture, there's always a bread associated with that culture. What's ours? I mean, we got a few.
Vet cook,
magwinia, we got Oma brood, sisters, all these type of pot bread, all these breads. It's amazing how there always seems to be a culture and then a bread associated to it. Okay, chili, because we can. It's not going to be hot. It's going to be a little bit warm,
See, we shot it with the flavor gun, man.
The flavor gun.
The flavor gun, baby.
We're going to make a flavor gun. A little bit of salt goes in there. You can pour that into your dish.
Beautiful.
I've got your roasted veggies.
Really nicely. And this is what I love about the premix. It gives you exactly what it says it's going to give you. You look at the picture and you're like, oh, I wish I could create that myself. Just pour it in. Done. Bake it. You've got it.
Done. Okay, I'm going to clear some space for you. You pour that. I'm ready for your veggies. This is so delicious. This batter is phenomenal.
You can smell the sweetness, and that's going to be a nice counterfoil, especially for the peri-peri chicken, having a nice kind of sweet. But this bread's going to have its own little heat every now and then.
It's amazing when your sides are equally as epic as the mains you're serving.
And listen, this little baby might consider herself a main, actually. I don't know if she thinks of herself as a side.
Nah, this is an absolute main.
Fine.
There we go. Just bury those veggies in there. That goes to the oven. And the timing's also perfect because by the time your chicken's done, your bread's going to be done, everyone's going to be happy. You want to hear a little hack?
Yes.
Something that we do.
Yes.
Okay, so we actually take the chicken, no roasting dish. We put it directly on the wire rack in your oven. Okay? Put the bread underneath it.
Oh, drip, drip, drip.
Drip, drip, drip.
Get out of here.
The chicken drips on the cornbread.
What did I do? You took the flavor
gun.
You just shot that bread with a flavor gun, man.
It makes a little bit of a mess in the kitchen, but just clean up the oven afterwards. The best cornbread you've ever had. The circulation of that air around the chicken gives you the best chicken you've ever had. Flavor gun, it's like to the max.
It's a flavor bazooka. If you want this beautiful recipe, this festive feast in your own kitchen today, you can find it at woolworths.co.za. How long in the oven for?
About 30 minutes. Don't forget all your braai sides, all the classics, everything at Woolworths. One-stop flavor bazooka shop.
Boom. Done.
Boom.
Absolutely love it. Oh, this is amazing, man. It's like someone threw a flavor grenade.
It's time to bake more memories with Royal Baking Powder on the new season of the Tastemaster SA, starting soon on SABC2. Our overall winner will take home 50,000 Rand cash. Plus, contestants can win 50,000 Rands worth of kitchen appliances. To enter, visit thetastemaster.co.za. Share a video about yourself and why you love baking, and show us something you've baked with tried and trusted Royal Baking Powder. Entries close on Monday, 25th of April. T's and C's apply.
Yes, welcome back, Mzansi. Or let us say welcome back, familia. Yes, it's Family Day today, and you are our family. And we're talking about all things family today. And we are here still with an incredible conversation with genealogist Jade Rossiter, owner of Still Life Genealogy. And she's here today to talk about the importance of knowing your family history and the process you can follow in order to find this information out. We were blown away by the stories you were hearing earlier. I think Gia and I are even more excited to find out about our own family right now.
Well, it just makes you think, because history, in my mind, rests on the actions of the individual.
Yeah.
That one person that changed the course of history. And we've heard, Jade, about your own incredible family history, which we're going to delve into a bit more in just a moment. I've got to ask, how often do you discover that people have royalty in their bloodline? Is this something that happens often? Because I think there are a lot of people out there thinking, man, I feel regal.
I feel royal.
I should have a kingly or a queenly history. How often are you surprised by the family histories that you discover?
Quite often, actually, and there's a lot more people that are connected to the royal families than what you would actually think. A lot of us do have, you know, blue blood.
Why is that so important, though? I mean, obviously, knowing where you're from is a monumental question, but how does that help us? And especially when it comes to our family history, I mean, knowing that you have regal blood in you must be quite an important thing, yes? But why so?
I don't think that it's necessarily important. It's not going to change your life. But like I say, it just... it's almost like, I like to think of it like a backup, to know that you've got strong roots, you've got strong history, you've got strong ancestors, and that their blood is running through you. So, you know, you can draw from their strength in a way.
Yeah, man. I love the fact that they've made their mark on the world and you get to do the same. Just imagine 200, 300 years from now, one of your relatives looking back and going, oh, Royal, I have World Championship life-saving blood in me, man. My blood is indeed blue. To look at the more emotional side of this conversation, I think something I think would be really interesting to know is, especially if you're an orphan, is where you have come from. But I would imagine in many cases, so many people in that situation will have no idea where to even begin. So what do you do if you're an orphan and wanting to find out more about your own family history? What is the first step?
Well, I think, you know, this is not really my area of expertise, but I can tell you, like, I've tried to help my dad's cousin, when it comes to adoption and that kind of thing. It's a little bit harder unless you've got the adoption papers or the names of your biological parents, because a lot of the time the records are sealed or, you know, they're very private. They're actually out there for everybody. But if you've got your bio family's names, then, I mean, then it's your own discretion. Then you can build yourself an adoptive tree and a bio tree, or you can make yourself one big tree, because, I mean, it's
who you are.
All up to the individual. How you feel about your own family,
I love that. I wanted to touch again on the story you shared with us earlier, which was absolutely incredible, just to say the least. And I mean, your ancestor and what actually occurred, and the fact that you have your own tree in the family, like an actual physical tree. It's almost like an heirloom. But more so, I wanted to know maybe what is the meaning to you of an occasion like this? Like, what is the impact of finding out this sort of like crazy history in your family? How did that change things for you kind of moving forward maybe, or did it have any impact on you at all?
Yeah, a big impact. Like I say, I mean, to find out that, I mean, she was born into slavery, and you know, she made a life for herself after that, and she overcame it, and she's my great grandmother. I mean, you know, her blood, her struggles, her fight, that's running through my veins.
Yeah,
so,
and potentially,
you know, I feel like it made me stronger.
Yeah, and also potentially the reason why you actually get to continue doing what you do right now is because of that fight that took place those many years ago. It's almost like you're part of that legacy in a way, clearly.
And I'm glad you hit on that, because it's not just your family. The path that was carved by Ansela and her husband and their romantic journey probably changed the game and the narrative for so many others. So you're part of a bigger network, which I love. I really do understand How do we get in touch with you? What's the first step? If we want to go on this journey ourselves, how do we make contact and what should we do?
Well, you can reach me through my my Facebook page. It's Still Life Genealogy, or you know, there's a WhatsApp link there as well. If you want to go on this journey on your own, there's so many helpful websites. Like I say, it's a very time-consuming hobby, but I mean, it's more than to do this on your own. There's so much free information out there. You just need to sort of, you know, Google it.
That's why we live in the digital era. There is access to information. And I would imagine if you're the right kind of person, sinking your teeth into this kind of data crunching would be awesome. Jade, you are amazing. You have the most amazing family as well, which means we know you come from good, really, really good genes. And we love that. So thank you so much for sharing that with us this morning. And happy Family Day.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely love that coming through from Jay. Now, if you also want to know more about your ancestry and your family history, go and check out Still Life Genealogy's website or their Facebook page at Still Life Genealogy. You might even discover family on the other side of the world, South Africa. Regal blood, royalty, you never know. But let's get back to our relationship chat because it is, of course, Family Day.
Day, indeed, a very important one, but funny enough, there are some people that don't always know how to spend quality time together. Now, since it's Monday, we're continuing our love and relationship discussion, and today we are talking to clinical psychologist Lindile Mbata about, you know, she's here to help us with giving us some helpful tips on how we can really include more quality family time into our lives. And what we've done is we hit the streets to find out exactly what your favorite family activities are, and this is what you had to say about it.
Family for me is the foundation of who I am. I am who I am because of who they are.
Wow, the meaning of the family to me is very important because we love and care for each other, especially me. I lost my mother 2013, so now I only left with my dad and my two sisters, and here my auntie and my uncle, they always take care of me, so they are my family to me. So I love them and I really appreciate them.
Family is something that I rate very, very highly because blood is thicker than water. I mean, we have friends in our lives, we grow up with friends, but once things really, really go bad, then friends are the first people to go through the exit door, but family members are always there, like they always stick by you.
To my family, just that I love them lots and they're the best, and yeah.
Family is everything to me. I think it's the most important part of life. Family is everything.
Respect your family, live with integrity, be intentional about everything you do.
Special message to my family. I love you, Mom. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me because without you, I wouldn't exist.
The one thing that lockdown and COVID has taught us is that we've got to stay close to our families because before you realize it, they can get taken away from us. So we're going to be spending time together, cooking, eating, having a couple of drinks, listening to some music and being merry.
Oh, listen, absolutely beautiful to hear what you have to say, what family means to you, how you love to spend time with them, and those special messages. But we are here with clinical psychologist Lindile, and we are here to unpack some great tips. Now, I want to know from you, besides dinner time, you know, it's usually a time where people get together, you're merry, you have a lovely conversation. How else can families, you know, put time aside and actually find ways to bond with each other?
Well, you know, Zoe, it doesn't always have to involve spending money also, because I think sometimes the idea is, you know, if I have to take this whole family out, I'm going to have no money at the end of the day. So I think there's certain things that you can do even in the house. You can play board games together, you can exercise together, you know, so it would be nice to do a little Taibo video, to do a little yoga video together. And I think also you can possibly, even when it comes to meal times, do the whole preparation of the meal together. And also movie nights. You can have movie nights, karaoke nights, but, you know, sort of themed evenings. It doesn't have to cost a whole lot of money, but you can take turns, you know, in terms of who's going to choose the movie, who's going to choose the snacks for us, who's going to prepare the popcorn for us, and make it a lot of fun to spend time together.
Oh, you know what? And I think it is all about that fun element. I know that for some families, especially older family members, the consumption of alcohol is generally, you know, a little bit of an icebreaker, but sometimes that is even, you know, it's a bit of a tradition. But, you know, do you think that there's also a way to help really just to break the ice, especially if family members haven't spent a lot of time together, or there's a bit of nervousness, you know, sometimes there was a bit of a rift in the family and you're trying to now like really basically turn over a new slate, clean slate.
Yeah, you know, I think alcohol is, it can be a very controversial thing, because on one hand it can help people relax and feel more chatty, but you also don't want it to be sort of the center of, you know, what it actually takes for you to relax. You don't want to be dependent on it as something that helps you relax when you have to be around family. So really food is one of the greatest things that helps when it comes to this. But I think also music can be so helpful. Yeah, music can be one way that immediately, you know, you walk in, it's not a tense silence, you know, people can hear a song that they enjoy. And really, if there are things that people can gather around, activities that they can do together, it's always a great icebreaker.
Play an instrument.
Yes.
I mean, you just sparked a memory. I remember every time we would go on a road trip, my dad had like this little green suitcase that had a bunch of cassettes in it. And he had his favorite ones that he loved to listen to. It always just sparks such positive energy and memories. Now, I know that a lot of kids, especially we live in the digital age, they love to, you know, play on their tablets. So even though there's family time, they're not really connecting with one another. How can, you know, families really get the kids to step away from the tablets and really just engage?
Yeah, so I think one of the things, like I said, doing lots of activities together. I think when you get the kids used to the fact that we gather around and, you know, we look each other in the face and we spend time, you know, finding out more about each other. So really taking interest in kids is one of the ways to do this, to really ask them about what's going on in their lives, about their friends, what they're interested in doing at school, getting them to demonstrate some of the things that they love, showing you pictures and collections of things that they've built up, and really taking the focus away from maybe the things that can be a distraction, like, you know, the sort of the digital stuff, the gadgets. So really, I think engaging more face-to-face, listening to music together, even if you like the song, getting them to teach you a dance move. So really engaging them in different ways.
And you know what's quite sweet now as well, and really just merging the two, and I'm going back to music here. I feel like today, especially kids being obsessed with platforms like TikTok, a lot of the songs are samples of, you know, great hits.
Yes.
And I think that is a great way to not only teach the young one, you know, that this is the original song, it's not what you think it is. And that's also a great way to bond.
Absolutely. And they also sometimes really love learning the lyrics of songs. Like, what are these people saying? So if you can teach them a little bit of the song, you know, I know this is something that I do with my niece and nephews. They just love it. They absolutely love it.
Well, we love having you here. Thank you for joining us today, Slindile. It was amazing. And if you would like to, you know, seek professional help in dating, family relationships, and any areas in your life, especially the ones where you're facing some difficulties, then you can reach out to Slindile Mbata by emailing her on sli, that's sli.psychologist@gmail.com.
Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, live here on S3. Now, Derek Gripper, the name of the day, the man of the hour. What an amazing award-winning South African performer, composer, and arranger we've had in studio this morning. It's been lots of fun having him here, and what a treat it has been enjoying all of those gems. Now, to cap it off, here he is with one last performance. This one is titled Jarabi by Tomani Diabate. Take it away.
Thank you.
What a legend. Derek, thank you so much for that. Please take a bow. You've been sensational this morning, sir.
Sir. Sorry to make you stand up, but that was worthy of standing up this morning. You really did take us on a musical journey. What a gift.
I loved it.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you so much to all of our guests who we've connected with on this family day. Hopefully you've learned a little bit more about your family, or at least how to deal with your family.
But how to connect with your family as well. Warrior Rick was fantastic there, right? Some really interesting, very uncomplicated ways to connect.
Yeah, man, just get outdoors, man, and savor it.
Definitely, and if you're in Durban, I mean, I think there are so many ways to help those who are in need, and our thoughts and prayers are with all of you that are currently, you know, just part of that cleanup process.
Yeah, we love you, Mzansi. Thanks for being our family today. And here's Derek one more time, playing us out and sending us into another realm with majestic strings.
To the sweet taste of time off, celebrating the lust of summer, and to family memories made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.